Hello, everyone, and welcome to another, live stream commentary, what you will, of the Vuelta España. I know we've been a bit lackluster in the kind of weeks, but we have finally found time for the time trial here in the second week, stage 10. And today I'm joined by Patrick Blake of Aldo Cycling and one third of the Echelon Cycling podcast. Great to have so many people here already. And I mean, yeah, Patrick, we are going around Valladolid, which after doing the preview, I can actually say is quite a pretty little city.
I I have no cultural facts about this place. I have absolutely nothing. Um, I mean, we're here though after
Wait,
that whole
we're here.
turbulation of like what was it? There was like the flights were cancelled or not cancelled during that whole thing. The rest day, riders were getting to hotels at 3 a.m. or something like that. But we've made it through and we're here at the start of a TT, and we were kind of starting just in time because Ganna is going off pretty soon, and he is probably joint favourite alongside Evenepoel for the stage. So we thought we get online for the start of him so that we can have a talk about him and then
Just about
talk
him.
us all the way through to the GC players.
But yeah, right now, provisionally, we've got Stefan Biesiger. I must admit, I didn't even realize he was in the race. Uh,
Me neither.
he's leading at the final, well, at the finishing line. Hugo Page is in second place. So right now, the fastest time is 28 minutes and 58 seconds, 53-second um, average. And the course, if you didn't watch the preview on the Cycling Day Extra channel, why did you not? I'm kidding. It is quite a technical course. There's got plenty of flat sections as well, but it has like this one climb in the towards the first third of the race. But it's evidently a fast course. But yeah, Patrick, what do you think we're gonna see in terms of this later on?
I mean, I think I think Remco will probably win. To be
Sad
fair,
times.
I you were talking about corners and stuff, and I've seen some hot takes on Twitter of people saying, "Oh, Evenepoel's cornering's not that great, so he probably won't be as good." But I don't know. I mean, have you seen his bike? It looks so cool. Like, if he doesn't win, it'll be so
Isn't
surprising
this
to me.
is this the first time he's wearing the world champs bands as the time
Yeah,
trial champion? Oh, okay. What a place to do. Yeah,
yeah.
obviously because he can't wear it in the team time trial, which is stupid. Like,
That's a stupid rule, and the UCI
yeah, because
needs to
you
fix
haven't got
that.
the world time trial discipline anymore, team time trial. So it's like,
Yeah,
who is the world champion then in this event? But um, I'm just making sure we get the right the right picture. We're not in Barcelona anymore. It's the team time trial
no,
graphic. I'll just get that away. But yeah, in terms of yeah, now it's the big juggernauts in our poll. We can see that it's right now Remco Evenepoel leading, as you probably would expect, team time trial champion. Yeah, I can't even think the last guy who's won a Grand Tour other than Bradley Wiggins, but he didn't do it while he was like in top form to win the time trial championships at a world championships.
yeah, yeah, I can't
Like,
think of it.
yeah, like if I'm gonna qualify that more,
Yeah.
it's like a GC contender who's also
Mm.
the time trial
Oh
champion,
yeah.
world time trial champion of the world.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
quite
think
rare.
you're right. Probably Wiggins was the last one
Yeah,
to have done that because we've had Evenepoel, we've had Ganna, we've had Tony Martin had it for quite a few years. Rowan Dennis,
well,
Tobias Foss.
Rogers.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. None of them were standout kind of GC riders. Dennis was always just a bit of an enigma as to what he was, but yeah, I think you're right. It is quite cool to have that, and it's a good thing actually in a way that Evenepoel isn't in the Maya Rosa because otherwise we wouldn't be able to see the jersey because he would have to wear the leader's jersey instead. So actually, it's a good thing he's not winning.
Yeah, but in terms of riders coming up, we've got Emmanuel Gabrag we've got Julien Bernard, and then in what 5 minutes time we have the two-time world time trial champion former now, Filippo Ganna. And I mean, if we just stay on Ghana,
Mm.
Not well. He won the time trial in Tour de Wallonia, which we spoke about in the Echelon Cycling podcast, just a bit ahead of his younger teammate Josh Tarling. And then, other than that, his only victory was in Trienio Adriatico. That the first time trial, that very fast 11.5 kilometer or around the 11 kilometer mark. But I mean, he wasn't exactly beating the big juggernaut of the time trialing game. Second place, Leonard Kemner, Magnus Sheffield, Michael Hepburn, Brendan McNulty, Arensman, Joao Almeida. I mean, all due respect, they aren't exactly the. Well, Roglic was there as well, and he put almost a minute into him, so ferocious time. But there wasn't a Remco, there wasn't a. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was also a very. I remember that day being really turbulent in terms of weather, and I think Ganna got a good spell of weather, and a lot of guys were losing time because it was wet or too windy or something like that. There were like leaves all over the road. It was a very spring kind of weather. I don't think it was a very perfect day. So I think Ghana might have the gaps probably exemplified by the fact of kind of changing and unpredictable weather conditions. So, but yeah, that is like you say, that's Ghana's only TT victory of the year. So it's not, this isn't the Ghana of a few years ago where he just turned up to a TT and it was a guaranteed win. It's certainly the balance of power I think has swayed a little bit towards Remco's way personally. Although Ghana is still definitely one of the best time trialists in the world
Yeah, well,
alongside Remco.
second place as well, so.
Yeah. I mean, should have brought Josh Tarling in.
Yeah. I think he's injured, is he not?
Yeah, he is.
So,
He had a crash in the Renewy tour or whatever it was. But he won the TT there, which
yeah,
is
absolutely exceptional talent. But yeah, great to have so
mm,
many people here. 70 people in the comments. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And yeah, who will be in red after today? Nicholas here as well asking that question. And that's a good question. We might play that in the poll a bit later on. We're on 79 people in the poll, 49% going for Remco Evenepoel. But yeah, Patrick, who's going to be in red? Is it going to be GC Kus?
um I mean based upon what I said yesterday in our preview, I said that Kuss was going to be in the red jersey at the end of the next week. So I guess I'll say yes. I think he'll hang on. I don't think we've ever seen Kuss have to go full flight in a TT, so it's you can't really extract his previous TT performances and say that's how he'll do today, because I think all his other previous TTs have probably been relatively, controlled in order to conserve energy. And he probably went full gas on that Giro TT, the one which Roglic won. But I think that it's hard to tell what Kuss is going to do today because we've never seen him have to really defend a lead of a race. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I think maybe we might be a bit surprised as to how good he might be at the end of it because yeah, we just haven't ever seen him have to perform full gas on a TT bike before. So maybe he might surprise us. So I think yeah, Kuss will probably hang on. I think, but I reckon Evenepoel will cut down this gap big time.
Yeah, we're just seeing. Who's this coming in? Is this Caden Groves?
I think Groves is
Oh,
coming. It's like Edward
yeah,
Plancart.
Edward Plancart. Sorry, not all Alpecin Phoenix are the guys are the same. Yeah, just
What?
yeah, Plancart, a very famous name, obviously in Belgium. I think he's won a famous. I think it's Baptiste Plancart. I think there's another Plancart rolling around the peloton as well.
Yeah, there is
Uh,
Edward Baptiste.
yeah, but we are getting Ghana is the next rider I think now. So
Yeah,
this is going to be interesting. Is he going to set the time checks alight? Mr.
yeah.
Ghana, world record,
I mean,
our record holder.
yeah. I mean, considering how close him and Evenepoel were during the World TT Champs, they were separated by, I can't exactly remember, but it wasn't much, was it?
Yeah,
So I think that, this is going to be a pretty close battle and looking forward to seeing it. But as Ganna rolls off a ramp, top Ganna, he's got that on his helmet. I've just seen that. It's a cool little touch he's got on his livery. I like that. But yeah, Ganna's underway. Got 4 bikes on the roof. Serious performances. Everyone
he is.
everyone's aware of this game.
He is so talented, isn't he? Um,
Yeah.
Salmi asking as well, why does Ewan hate Israel Primotek so much? Do you think it's warranted? I
Um,
think it was warranted in the beginning, but now they're actually doing quite well. So now they've developed a bit
yeah.
more. But yeah, we're seeing Ghana setting off, as you said. Um, I just think Ghana, he's had a pretty good year despite not,
Yeah.
yeah, like even podiuming in Milan San Remo as well.
Mm. He has had a very good year, and he's probably one of the few people who I would still consider just to be sort of a time trial specialist, alongside maybe like Bissiger. You know, it's not frequent in the peloton now just to have sort of a person who is just like a one-trick pony. And I'm not saying that Ganna's just like a one-trick pony, but I'm saying that he's just like he's a real TT brute. Whereas a lot of good time trialists nowadays, you see also being very strong GC riders like your Vingegaards, Roglic, Pogacar, and stuff. Ayuso. These guys are all frequently in the top 10 of TTs, but they're also GC riders. So it's kind of refreshing in a way to still have that TT kind of pure rider around, kind of like when Tony Martin was the big dog of TTs. It's good to have that kind of statesman of all things time trialing still in the peloton, and he's got the backing of Bingham as well, and his track record as well of Ganna. He's like this. He is a TT might in the group, and he is always sort of like the yardstick that everyone compares himself to, and he's not going to be an easy one for Evenepoel to beat today.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like you said, the expertise they have at Ineos as well, the pedigree they have in time trialing is almost second to none in terms of
Mm.
backroom stuff. But yeah, Peter Siri has set the fastest time through the first time check.
Really?
Yeah, 55
Wow.
kilometers an hour. That must be a glitch. 13 minutes and 32 seconds. A minute and 14 seconds quicker than
Like it's
Stefan Bisinka. Is this correct? Is this just him?
no way. I mean, I don't think that's right. He's gone a minute and 14 faster than Stefan Bissiger. No offense to Peter Seri, but I have a feeling come on, there's no way. I'll say that's a glitch for now until proven wrong. But that is if that's true, then
Electric.
Peter Seri is now going to be the world time trial champion next year or something.
Yeah, a man who has commentated previously on a stream before is now on the screens. That is Dan Bigham. He's talking about the cooling temperature that's one of like the big focuses now, keeping a ride as cool as possible during the hot days and uh, really just yeah, managing that throughout the ride as well, which loses a lot of energy, etc., etc. I mean, I did an interview with him earlier this year where he gave basically just a lecture about it. Very interesting, just like pushing the boundaries of performance once again. But we're getting an EF Education Easy Post rider here. It is Marian Vandenberg, who we saw crash earlier as well in the race. Not really setting the times alight here, but yeah, he's going to be focused later on in the race, don't you think?
Yeah, he's focused on the sprints, although none of them have particularly gone his way, have they, so far? I think maybe that's due to EF not sending a load of support for him, and him kind of flying his own sprinting flag. But they've done that in the past, like when what was it, like Magnus Cort Nielsen has kind of been that kind of rider, his own kind of entity in the team. And I think that Vandenberg is sort of a bit like that. He is a bit like a Magnus Cort Nielsen versatile sprinter. But yeah, he's not set the leaderboard alight today. But I think he is better at the shorter TTs. But he's probably just like you say, saving his energy. It's his Grand Tour debut after all. There's no point killing yourself on a TT where Evenepoel and Ganna are more than likely going to be taking the spoils at the end of the day. Just get round within the time limit and don't hit the deck. That's probably like the call of order for quite a few riders today.
So Ghana's got 21.5 kilometers left. And remember, it's a 25.8 kilometer course here. So he's about 4 kilometers into the ride. We're getting an Intermarché rider, Julius Johansson, another rider who's featured on the channel. Very nice guy. He's going to be very close to the time of Stefan Bissiger here at the finish. Not a bad ride by him. I think this is like one of his... Another guy really strong on the track, former world champion in the team pursuit, former junior world champion in the road race as well, back in Bown in Norway, 2017. But yeah, he's going to be clocking in the second fastest time provisionally, 35 seconds down on Stefan Bissinger. So not a bad ride from the young Dane here, and he's had a bit of a mixed year in his road career, senior road career, you would say. But it looks like he's finding himself. Second year on the world tour, and yeah, only 23 years old. So still, I think he's got a very strong engine. So it's someone you want to kind of develop for sure.
Yeah, I think I remember like he's a real strong prologue rider from what I remember. I think he did really good in the like Tour Down Under
Yeah,
prologue.
third.
Third, yeah, I remember him being really good at that. Obviously coming from, his track background, very good at those
Yeah, true.
probably like sub 5 minute efforts. Um so yeah, he you see him doing really well in prologue, so maybe today's just a little bit too long for him, but despite that, finishing 30 seconds down on the European TT champ is no mean feat, and I think that could be Intermarché's probably best rider of the day. I reckon. That's he could be their fastest rider because I think that Rune Hellerhotz has already gone through, who I was expecting some things from today, but I think that he has just been kind of cruising around, unfortunately. I had quite big expectations after he did a very good TT at the Dauphiné earlier this year, but yeah, Johansson's done a really good ride there, as we're just seeing.
Ganna just caught his Miniman.
He's already caught his
Already?
Minuteman.
What?
And Nico Den's coming into the finish line now. He's also doing a really good ride. He's currently 10 seconds down on Bissiger, but he's only got about 50 meters to go until the line. He's only going to finish 17 seconds down, 16 seconds down, sorry, on Stefan Bissiger, which is a really good performance from a rider who won 2 stages of the Giro d'Italia and has been really just a domestique for Bora this race so far. But it's very easy to forget that Nico Denz did win 2 stages of the Giro. It might have been one of the better performances of the year.
Yeah.
Certainly the most surprising.
Underrated for sure. They're very
Yeah.
strong as well. But yeah, I think like not enough credit was given. Stefan just saying in the comments as well, we were talking about Plancard. As we are just seeing Julius Vandenberg, there are of course 2 Vandenbergs riding for EF Education East Coast coming in here. Yeah, saying in terms of the Plankards, there was Willie, Walter, Eddie, and later Joe Vandenberg. Not Vandenberg. Plancard. There we go.
I don't think there's any relation between these Vandenbergs. I know that Marijn is related to Lars Vandenberg, who rides for FDJ, but I don't think Julius and Marijn are related. It's just I don't know, a frequent name.
Yeah, we're seeing the next rider as well here. Is this Dylan Van Baal?
It looks like
is.
it.
Oh, sure.
Of course, out of his national champs livery.
Yeah, but not
just for today.
Not on the screen. He's in the Dutch livery there. But I'm just gonna get my charger for my laptop, so I'll be back in about 10 seconds. But yeah, Dylan Van Baal, do you think he's gonna do something here today?
It's always hard to say with domestiques of the big teams because not quite sure whether they've been told, you're a good time trial, let's go for your own thing today, try get a top 10 or whatever, or whether they say, oh, we've got bigger fish to fry bigger later on in this race, so we need you to kind of save energy, or what it is. I think that it's probably still important to, get a decent effort out and kind of keep the legs ticking over, especially in a Grand Tour, just over however much having a day off would be very good. I think, that might be detrimental in a different way. And, all the sports scientists and the coaches and nutritionists will know what to do here. But yeah, I think that Van Baal might post a decent time today. I'd say probably like a top 15 time. He usually gets the green light to go for his own thing. I'm just seeing Jonas and Seppi getting out of the Jumbo van, probably just come over from a hotel or something like that to get their warm up in and stuff like that. So yeah, two of the big GC players.
Yeah,
getting ready
quite nice
for their
them,
big ride today.
Them taking pictures as well with the people as well. Not too.
No,
yeah, arrogant.
Not too stuffy.
Yeah, I mean, they are about to compete, so they could have said like, "Oh, I'm not really in the mood," but Fair enough. Domanova coming over the line here, and I'm just checking. Do we have update on the Peter Siri time? So the first time check, we had Peter Siri leading with a ferocious pace. Yeah, he's still there. So unless Pro Cycling Stats have got some mistake, Peter Siri is well. We'll see how fast Mr. Filippo Ganna goes through it. But
Peter Seri. Time trialing goat. Peter Seri.
apparently, yeah.
It's
Oh, second time check. He's 21st in the second time check. 2 minutes and 17 seconds down, so he lost 3 minutes in the span of a few kilometers. So he absolutely went for it and then went backwards.
That's so confusing.
Yeah, we're seeing Van Baal here, 24 kilometers still to go. Ghana is going to be very close to the second time, or the first time check even. And in terms of riders coming up that are of note, I'm going to say the Rotnenny.
Yeah, really just kind of like hoping that somebody
Jeffrey
of note was going
Bouchard,
to pop up.
do we think he's going to light the roads of Valladolid up? Like, great climber, but let's be honest. Does he even care about the time trial as well? We're not in the real thick of it in terms of the GC battle. So like many of these riders will just be looking towards other days, to be honest, which is fair enough. Why do you care? Like if your goals are elsewhere, it's not GC, then today is just like it's like a semi rest day in a way.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of riders will be taking it pretty easy today, more than likely, because yeah, there's no point in kind of really going for it and wasting your energy when you could just take it easy and just make the time cut. Basically, why would you do anything excessive?
Finn Fisher Black is maybe of note. Is he a good time trialist? I know everyone's throwing
Yeah,
like huge accolades on his name.
he is. He's quite good. I think he did very. I think he came top 10. I want to say something like fifth or sixth in the Tour of Polonia TT. So I think that he
Oh,
is a very
fourth.
fourth. I know he came top 10.
Yeah,
I got
you're
that
right.
part right.
He's a decent tester, to be honest.
I think that yeah, I'll be intrigued to see how he goes
Sip.
because he is still such a young talent. I remember a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, he's just going to be like a domestique, but he's actually shaping up to be a very interesting rider for UAE. Yet another interesting young rider that UAE have to add to their
Collection.
collection.
Sip Uveda here. Speaking of riders I don't really care about today. 3 minutes down. But he is the Mountains jersey wearer. We'll see how long he can do that for. He's currently 1 point ahead of Remco Evenepoel in the standings. So, yeah, he has to be very offensive. But speaking of people who do care about it, Filippo Ganna is taking his second Minuteman here.
Wow.
Number 52. Who's that for Little Trek?
Um,
Well, we can just find Ghana and then look who's he's been taking. Oh, I think it's Julian Bernard. Yeah, Julian Bernard he's taking. How far is he going to get in terms of minimum?
well, that's a very good question,
So he's
actually.
got
I reckon
two. Yeah.
he's got two of them. Could he get a third? I reckon he could get a third. The guy in
Ooh.
front of him is from Cairo. There is no way in hell that Cairo guy is going that fast. So through the first check, I think I just saw that Ganna went 33 seconds faster than Bissiger.
So they haven't got Peter Siri as the fastest time, so I'm a bit dubious of.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33 seconds quicker than Bissica. That is
Wow.
that's a benchmark and a half.
That is very impressive.
Yeah, I'm glad we came on for Mr. Ghana.
Top Ganna.
Yeah.
I mean, he's about halfway through. He's got like 12.5k left.
Yeah. I mean, after the World Championships, he's gonna. Well, you were there at the Scotland World Championships, the time trial.
Yeah.
The profile that must have been very, very lumpy compared to this, no, or not?
It was just a hill at the end. Like a lot of riders were saying that the difficulty was that it was so pan flat and untechnical that it was all about just basically getting as aero as you can on a lot of the straight parts, which is probably why Remco might have had just like an ever so slight advantage. I can't remember what the time splits were at the final climb, but yeah, I remember because I was stood and Ganna had literally just overtaken Pogacar into like the last 200 meters or something. It was very cool. But yeah, it's so close between him and Evenepoel that it's really hard to tell. But I think that I don't know what's the poll on? Is it still advantage
Yeah,
Evenepoel?
50%. It's not
Is it still
swinging.
50%?
280, 19 people voting. Only
Mm,
17% for Ghana today. 24% for
really?
Jonas Vingegaard. I mean, Bissinger said he doesn't expect to win. He said that at the end of his ride.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's very humble of him.
Yeah, he says he's expecting Remco Evenepoel or Ghana to win this, not Roglic. And
I mean, if Roglic wins today, for what? I would be really surprised if Roglic or I'd be surprised if Jonas won today as well.
Jasha Sudolin from Bahrain Victorious is coming up to the finishing line. Looks like he might be inside the virtual top 5. He's coming towards the
Looks
finish.
like it.
Good tester as well. Been at Movistar, been a bit around the blocks, but yeah, just going to be denied catching his Miniman, which might be James Knox. I'm not quite sure. Or it could be Peter Siri. Yeah, it's Pete. No, Peter. Yeah, it is Peter Siri. So
The flying Peter Seri.
yeah, it has been corrected. So Peter Siri was
Boo.
40th. Uh, he was not going 55 kilometers an hour in that first time check. They've corrected
Oh,
it now. He was going 45, so not 55, 45.
oh.
Uh,
Peter Seri was for a few minutes like the best time trialist on planet Earth, and I was kind of getting ready to get that hype
yeah,
going.
I mean, to put it in perspective, Ghana, who leads by what, 40, was it 40 seconds or 50 or 30 seconds? Yeah, 33 seconds. He's only
33.
going
Yeah.
52.6 kilometers an hour. So,
Um,
yeah, Peter Series time would have absolutely smoked Ghana. But we're also seeing the
yeah.
beautiful stadium here of Valladolid. It looks like it's missing a stand. Um,
Maybe they're rebuilding it.
yeah, it's not completely surrounded. So if you had a drone, you could watch free football. Uh, I'm just saying. But yeah, Nico Dent is he the second? Yeah, he's the second fastest rider currently.
Wow.
So
That bodes well for the other kind of Bora GC riders that we got to come in. Vlasov and Itebrooks. You know, that shows that their setup is clearly a competitive one.
haven't they got the same
So hope,
setup as Quickstep? Because aren't they both specialized? But yeah,
yeah,
obviously
in
it doesn't
theory,
mean that they have
we get
the same completely.
Remco probably gets a special treatment.
Yeah. Oh, Ghana going for the third one here.
Oh
Third
gosh,
Miniman. This is quite funny now.
it kind of is. But yeah, his teammate Fraile is coming into the line now, not troubling anything. He's going to finish probably about 2 minutes and 20 or something behind Stefan Biska, just getting through it. I mean, I'd like to see Fraile kind of let loose, you know, considering that Ineos don't have GC ambition in this race anymore. I think it'd be good to see, you know, Castroviejo and Fraile kind of let's see them fully on you know on the loose because I think that they could be some really interesting kind of breakaway riders to go at, especially since Fraile, you know, has he won? He's won a stage in every single Grand Tour, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'll get back to you.
I definitely know that he's won in the Giro and the Tour. I can remember those, but I can't specifically remember a Vuelta one.
He's won the KOM in the Vuelta twice. Is that true? No, he's
Yeah,
never won a Vuelta stage. He's finished
I mean,
second
yeah,
twice.
he could go for a stage. I reckon that could be quite a cool thing for Ineos to try and get. Well, more for him to try and get.
Yeah, he only has 8 stage wins in
Oh
his
no.
career, and 4 of them are World Tour. So that's quite impressive. 7.6 kilometers left for Filippo Ganna, and he's 42 seconds ahead of Bissinger. But I mean, it's not really Bissinger. He's going. Um, he needs to put a lot in. Well, Bissinger, he's been a bit hot and cold this year. Well, mostly cold.
Mm,
The European
yeah,
champion.
even at like his home races, like I remember at Tour de Suisse, Bissiger wasn't really that competitive in the time trials, and usually, you get to Romandy and Tour de Suisse, and those races usually pack in two TTs into the race. That's usually where like Bissiger's most happy hunting ground because they're quite short, kind of like 12 kilometers. It's like a perfect distance for him. But yeah, he hasn't quite been the dominating Bissiger that we saw when he beat. What was it? I think he toppled Ganna last year at the UAE Tour on a pretty flat TT, and that was going to be sort of the new rivalry that we were going to be talking about. But yeah, Bissiger hasn't quite backed that up this year for whatever reason that might be. Now we're looking towards Ganna versus Evenepoel as the big TT battle going on.
Yeah, true. Yeah, who's going to come out today here in Valladolid? 25.8 kilometers to decide who's going to be the fastest guy. Well, there's only one time trial in this year's Vuelta España, individual one. And yeah, we'll have to see. This guy really looks, Van Baal really looks like Jonas Vingegaard on a TT bike.
Yeah, he kind of does, doesn't he?
Uh,
He does. He's like just a taller Jonas, basically.
yeah, I mean, Jonas was actually absolutely electric in that time trial in the Tour de France. But yeah, I really wanted him to go to the Worlds, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. 5.8 kilometers to go here for Ghana, and he's going like 68 kilometers an hour, and he's seeing his fourth minute man here. So
Yeah,
this is getting quite funny now. Is he going to get to
crazy.
five? So,
Don't know. He's running out of road.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's the only thing that'll stop
I
him.
mean,
Otherwise, he'd probably just get the whole field.
I am missing like a huge time trial. I would love to see that more. Like they used to do it a lot
Hmm.
in the olden days, but they've kind of veered away from that. But
Yeah,
another one to add to the list here. I think that's Gebrag Sabir. Is it?
yeah.
Yeah, the national Eritrean time trial champion. Yeah, Top
I
Ghana
mean,
is
yeah.
full flight right now.
He is going so fast, and he's going so fast. He's catching up to like the motos in front of him, who are probably giving him a few extra seconds as well, just accidentally. So this is going to be an absolutely storming time from Ganna. What do you reckon? What do you reckon he's going to be? He was like 40 something up on Bissiger. I reckon he could be nearing a minute.
Yeah, but you feel like he has to do that though.
Yeah.
Van Baal's the next rider. Well, no, Van Baal's 1 minute and 20 seconds down
Wow.
on Ghana.
Minute.
Yeah.
It's not that close.
So apparently he's 51 seconds on the second time check up on Bissinger, Ghana.
Hmm.
But I mean, Pro Cycling Stats always also said Peter Siri was the fastest rider. So,
So who knows anymore?
but yeah, Ghana 4.2 kilometers left here. Can we see the fifth rider anywhere? Four riders. That's quite impressive with only 25 kilometers.
That is that's almost ridiculous. In fact, no, it's not almost. It is.
Yeah, slightly shorter than our record. We're getting Kenny Ellison coming up to the start line as well in about 30 seconds. Then Mateo Sobrero, he could be very interesting to see what he
Mm,
does here. He's a good time trialist who
yeah.
has beaten Ghana in the past at the national championship. Joe Dombrowski, Lascano as well coming up. Chris Hamilton, but yeah, Sobrero probably the next rider of note after Ghana. 3.5 kilometers left for Ghana here. Come on, where's that fifth minute man?
Where is he? He's probably just hiding around these corners, just scared of Ganna hurtling down on him.
He's just ripping up this road. He was going 68 kilometers an hour on the flat road. I
Yeah,
mean,
literally.
if you've ever been on a TT bike, it is crazy how quick you can go with very little effort. But yeah, Ghana has a huge engine on top of that. So
Damn.
uh,
Jumbo got the bike hack going.
yeah, we'll have to see if Van Baal. He's got 12.8 kilometers. He's not going to be catching Ghana, that's for sure. Um, yeah, how fast do you think we're going to get into the 54 kilometers an hour average here? Because we have 53.4 for Stefan Biscay at the finish.
I reckon, it must be about 55 k's an hour probably, but Ganna's going to
The
something
Peter Series speed.
insane. Yeah, yeah, they literally, Peter Series speed. Like literally just the hundreds of meters, just and the clock are just ticking down so quickly. Like you'd think it's a car that's going. It's but it's just Top Gunner. It's just so fast. I think I'm coming into just 2 kilometers to go now. Where Ganna is inevitably going to take the fastest time, but it's whether he can hold off Remco Evenepoel later on, or maybe even this man Matteo Sobrero, who, like you said, Scott has beaten Ganna in the past, but in a Italian time trial championships, and of course Sobrero has won a Giro TT before. I'm not sure if Ganna was there at that one, but that was a couple of years ago. If I know, it was last year. It was when Hindley won. It was on the last stage. So we'll wait and see what Sobrero can do. He's probably going to be Jacob Alula's best shot at getting a good TT result today. I almost said Mitchelton Scott. I'm just so used to. Still haven't kind of like grown out of like 2017 cycling yet or something for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same with a number of teams, Intermarché, etc. It is quite
Yeah.
confusing. We don't have the luxury of football fans where it's just the same name for eternities, which is good as well, though, in some respect. For them, not for us. It's a bit sad for the sport. But yeah, the wider cycling question aside, inside the last kilometer here for Ghana, and yeah, who knows how fast he's going. They've taken away the time. I would love to see the power data, but obviously they're going to hide that. Yeah, like you said, the meters are just flying by here inside the last 700 meters.
So fast. 27 minutes and 10 seconds right now. But he's just, last 400 meters or so right now. He's currently a minute and 40 up on Bissiger, but the clock is going down. But gosh, this is going to be one of the fastest times of the day, easily from Ghana. But he's just got his head buried in behind his hands, not even looking up the road, just kind of plonking it in the middle. But he's gonna destroy the time of Stefan Bissiger. 25 meters to go, and ends up a minute and 19 seconds. With 55 k's an hour was disrespectful from a Scott.
Yeah.
He went 56 k's an hour in that TT. That is incredible.
Wait, how fast is the fastest? Because I feel like Rowan Dennis had the fastest Tour de France time trial, and that was 55 kilometers an hour average. Yeah,
Was it?
55.4 kilometers in 2015 was the fastest Tour de France average at the time. So, and that was a 13.8 kilometer course. So this is even
Wow.
faster.
Yeah. That's just insane, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'd be interested to see how Lascana does here. He's just rolled off a ramp. Of course, he is kind of like probably one of the most prospectful riders that Movistar have. He's a big ruler, big engine. We saw him doing really good in, Dwars dos Wandron. He's the Spanish road champion as well. And we've seen him being really good in breakaways. And I think he's got the qualities of somebody who could be a good time trialist in the future. Bear in mind, he is only 23 years old. So I'll be intrigued to see how Lascana does today. I wouldn't be surprised if he finished inside the top 10.
yeah, we're just seeing slow mo shots of Filippo Ganna. Absolutely powerful stuff by him, and yeah, the vice world champion, if you will, just
Yeah.
showing himself once again. And yeah, has he won a Vuelta stage? I don't think so. Well, he hasn't won a tour stage either, but um, yeah, the big pressure was on him trying to win the Copenhagen time trial that didn't. To be fair, it was also wet, so
Yeah, that's fair.
Bissinger can tell us all about that time trial.
Project Bissiger.
Yeah, that was sad.
Project Stefan.
Yeah,
Oh dear, that did not go well.
but provisionally Ghana leads with Bissinger second, Nico Dens in third place, Julius Johansson fourth place, Suterlin in fifth place, Thomas de Gent sixth place, Ugo Page seventh place, Ray Termeyer in eighth place, Jeffrey Soup, stage winner already, in ninth place, and Julius Vandenberg in 10th place. So still a bit of a mix of riders that are not quite out and out TT specialists there.
No, there's definitely there's room for riders to be filtering in here. I mean, especially since we've got, I think there's something like 70 riders still to go, some kind of ridiculous number like that. So I feel like there's going to be, I don't think you'll be seeing a lot of these riders inside the top 10. I reckon some of them might hold on to the fringes of the top 10, but I think that you're going to see a lot of these riders who are, twos and threes minutes behind Ganna probably bowing out of the top 10 as the other riders come through, including like a Sobrero who's currently out on course or a Lazcana.
Yeah, we're seeing two of the Minutemen of Ghana coming over the line now here. Lachlan, you were very interested to see what he was going to do, but I mean, the
Yeah,
time trial, yeah, he's been very quiet so far, no?
it's been very AFK, and yeah, I think a lot of people were expecting some big things from Vauquelin, but all that I remember seeing him from a TV shot was him being dropped on a descent. So really, it hasn't been a very successful kind of baptism of fire for Vauquelin as a GC prospect. But I'm not really sure. Do you see Vauquelin as a GC prospect? I see him more as like a stage racer, but because he's a very well-rounded rider, but I think trying to shape him into a GC rider is just going to be a bit of a waste of time. I know that the French are constantly looking for a new hope in terms of GC prospects, but I'm not sure if Vauquelin is that guy. I think that his attributes are better suited in other ways. He's very much like he's a bit like what Thomas de Gent used to be. I reckon that he'd be a very good breakaway rider. So okay, please don't chain him to a GC role,
Thomas de Gent,
please.
former podium finisher of the Giro. Is that Thomas de Gent?
Yeah, but that's such like that statistic is like he's a podium finisher for G. I'm like, oh, come on,
Winner of a up Stelvio.
literally, like what? I still can't believe that happened. That's still like somehow a thing. I don't know.
Great to have 150 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's try and get to 100 and get involved in our poll. We might have a new poll now because we've got 303 people voting in that poll. So I think it's time for a new poll. I think red jersey is probably the poll we should go for. But 49 people going for Remco Evenepoel as today's winner, and only 18% going for Ganna. That's quite
Oof.
incredible. Ganna just smashed that time trial, and people were
Yeah,
like, "Nah, you know what? No."
yeah. I think a lot of us voted prior to
Yeah,
Ghana
yeah, that's true.
finishing,
That's true.
and maybe we're all a bit kind of gritting our teeth now, thinking, oh, maybe it's gonna be quite hard for Paul to beat this. I think it will be like cracking 56k an hour. That's gonna be hard.
Because he's got kind of the dual thing as well. I was gonna, say, I put Ghana as one of the options. That's wrong. He's not gonna be wearing the red jersey unless he's gonna like
Ghana
take
is gonna
hours
be in
back.
there.
Um, but yeah, no, it's definitely interesting what is gonna happen here. Because Remco has the dual focus. Well, the one focus, and then the second one's kind of just if it happens. His focus
Mm,
is get the put as much time as he can into his rivals, and then if he
yeah.
wins, that's a bonus. If he gets the red jersey, that's a bonus as well.
Mm.
But yeah, yeah, new poll now. So who do you think is going to be wearing the red jersey? I'll make sure to vote as well. But we're getting Gladstone. I'm not even sure who this is for Carual coming over the line.
My, yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe Ghana lapped him
Yeah, but
like
who's
at kilometer 5.
I mean, my Gladstone, Abel Gladstone, 23 years young. Eighth currently, so that was a good time for him. In terms of big results this year, he's won. He finished on the podium in a Portuguese 2.2 stage race, top 10 in the Tour of Hungary, and I mean, yeah, a youngster coming through the ranks, and he'll probably be snapped up by movie stars soon if he hasn't already. No, it's gonna be.
That's literally just what
Yeah,
happens, isn't
exactly.
it?
That's the pathway. It's like, um, yeah, go to Caroal and then go to Movistar. But Sobrero here, that's the rider of note. 19.1 kilometers left here. He's on the hill right now. That
Yeah.
hill doesn't look as easy as I thought it was.
No, I mean, this is the first I've seen of the coverage of the climb, and it actually makes Ganna's 56k an hour all the more impressive because you're going to lose quite a bit of speed going up here, and whether you're going to be able to gain that on the way back down, you probably, maybe it evens out just about. But through, maybe you get up to 80 k's an hour on the descent rather than kind of cruising along at 55 on the flats or whatever. But actually going 56k an hour is crazy impressive considering you got that hill in there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't even think how fast he was going down on a TT bike. I remember seeing a video where Miguel Angel Lopez was going 113 kilometers down a mountain on a TT
Really,
bike. Yeah, in the Tour de Suisse. Um, yeah, but Ganna just so imperious.
literally.
We'll see if he's gonna hold it all the way to the finish. Um, yeah. When's the last time he took a Grand Tour stage win? That must have been last time he was at the Giro. I'm not even sure now because he had that
I'm not sure. He hasn't won a Tour TT.
for a while.
Must have been a Giro one.
18 kilometers left for Sobrero, as you said, getting past this lumpy part. 62, 64 kilometers an hour right now. So, yeah.
He just visually doesn't look to be going as fast as Ganna.
No.
Just like an eyeball test.
How many one minute men has he caught? He's caught one so far. So
Yeah.
he needs to get up to Iveti if he's gonna get close to Ganna's. But okay, that's not fair because you don't know what speed they're going at. Well, Mollema looks like he's doing a quietly good time as well. Fifth fastest through the first intermediate time check, and yeah, we'll see if he can maybe get himself inside the top 10. But Loscano here getting a lot of coverage, obviously, because he's Spanish. He's one of the new stars for Spain. But 18.8 kilometers to go. Yanko in the comments saying that Remco is going to lose 1 second per kilometer. Bingo is going to lose 1.5 seconds per kilometer. And Kus is going to lose 3 minutes per kilometer. But to who?
3 minutes?
To Remco.
Per kilometer?
Yeah.
He's going to be decades behind by the
3
end
seconds. Sorry, 3 seconds, not minutes.
Oh, right.
Oops.
I was like, he's going to be like an hour down.
He's going to be outside the time
Is he
cut.
walking?
Great to have DB Cooper in the comments as well. But last victory for Matteo Sobrero was over a year ago at the Giro d'Italia, like you said, the final stage. And Andrea Piccolo coming over the line here, the leader of the Vuelta España for a day. And was it a day or 2 days? But 19th fastest right now.
Yeah, I think it was just a day. When was Ganna's last time trial victory?
Let's figure that out as well. Well, the last time trial one was the the Bologna one, in front of Tarling. But in terms of Grand Tour stages, yeah. Well, he's only won in the Giro, but I think maybe it was 2021.
Yeah, it's quite a bit ago for the Goliath that is Filippo Ganna.
Giovanni, I suspect you're from Italy in the comments saying Ganna is unbeatable.
That's just untrue because he's been beaten many times this year.
Maybe today.
But
Maybe it was meant for today.
today,
Yeah.
it's very possible that he's unbeatable.
But in terms of our red jersey poll, 48% of you believe it is going to be Sepp Kuss keeping that jersey. GC Kuss still alive.
He is still alive. Oh, we talked about it a little bit on the echelon, didn't we?
Yeah.
GC Sepp Kuss.
Clip coming up tonight as well about it if you haven't seen the full episode. But yeah, is who's going to win the Giro d'Italia?
The Giro d'Italia? I don't
At
know.
the Vuelta España.
I was going to be like, I don't know. 2024, has anybody been announced?
Yeah. Oops.
Who's going to win the Vuelta? I don't know. I feel like it's so nip and tuck, isn't it? Like we were saying on the podcast, on the echelon, it's just so. There's a lot of riders still in contention, although Roglic and Vingegaard seem to be showing kind of ever strongest of the GC group. Kuss is also just this joker card in there, which is kind of making things a little bit more difficult for other riders to kind of comprehend because we've never seen Kuss go full out for a GC before, and I feel like although we're it's like expected that maybe he'll drop down the order. What if he doesn't? What if this is the kind of first GC Cuss massive performance that we're going to see?
First American
It's very
winner
possible.
since Horner.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, we're just seeing Dylan Bar crossing the line here, not coming inside top 10. Former winner of Tour of Britain, of course, which is happening as well.
Oh, yeah. Has that finished yet?
Yeah, I heard, well, George, friend of the channel, was saying that it's not exactly the most invigorating stage today. But Castroviejo, the Spanish national time trial champion, he's the next to start. Let's see if he can get himself inside a top 10 maybe. A good domestique, a good climber, that's the kind of rider that you would sign if you're starting a new team for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah, you got to want.
Sobrero, not inside top 5 on the first time check.
Is he not?
Yeah.
See, our eyeball test was correct.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's going to be alarming. Slower than Nico Dent, slower than Julius Johansson.
Wow. Yeah. 59 seconds down on Ganna's time.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see what what Lascano does.
He's catching his Miniman here.
Yeah, he is.
Is he going to be anywhere near the top 5, top 10 here?
I reckon he'll be about the same time as Sobrero, so probably hanging around 5th place.
Egan Bernazde has just started as well, former Colombian time trial champion, of course. See what he can do, if he's going to do anything. He's probably going to be someone chasing breakaways, hopefully. We were saying this in one of the recaps, but Castroviejo here. What does the eyeball test say? Does he look fast? He's never beaten Ganna. I can't.
No. But he is a very fast looking time trial rider. He's like the pioneer of aero TT positions. Do you remember him back in like the Movistar days where he would just bury his head and he'd be like a full on bullet? Like he was Remco before Remco was a thing in terms of TT positions. So like Castroviejo has a lot to answer for these crazy TT positions because he is basically just like the forefather of it all. Because he was around him were so many big GC or not GC like TT riders, big power. He was like the small condensed package, was kind of like the first of his kind. And but I found that shows that despite him being, what is he, 30? I want to say he's like 33, something like that. He's still, Spanish TT champ, still competitive.
Yeah. Just seeing Lascano here, 7th quickest. So, yeah, Patrick, you're pretty on the ball today with the predictions. The eyeball.
I said it's good. Yeah. Eyeball test. Honestly, it's the best kind. You don't need watts and your CDAs and your fancy numbers here. Just look at it and just say that person is riding fast or not. That is the ultimate science of cycling.
Yeah. Well, apparently my sound is not great, so I'll make sure to get the microphone closer. Yeah, it's well, yeah. We'll wait and see what happens here. But yeah, you need to be careful now because Dan Bigham, he's been commentating on a TT before here, and now he works for Ineos. So maybe Movistar are going to hit you up.
I don't speak Spanish. La cuenta, por favor.
I think you guys are correct. I think I got the wrong microphone. We had it correctly up in Skype. I think it's good now. Peter, let me know. Matt, let me know. I think this is better for you guys. Apologies. I had it right for Skype, but not for the streaming software. So apologies for that. But yeah, great to have 170 people here. 28% of you believing Remco Evenepoel is going to take the jersey. I mean, in terms of the standings, Patrick, he's still got quite a big chunk up to Sepp Kuss.
Yeah. He does still have a big chunk. How was he? He's over 2 minutes 30, nearly 3 minutes down, I want to say.
I think I'll get us the top 10. Yeah, apologies for that, guys. The bad sound from my end, but I'll get you the top 10 as well, so we can just have a look at that as well in terms of before the stage started. I mean, it's still fine now. Oh, Pro Cycling Stats crashed. Not shocked, considering that they have quite a lot of races that they're following right now. But
Yeah.
22.2 kilometers still to go here, and yeah, Hamill is saying that Roglic will win the Vuelta.
That's a very sensible call. I think that's looking pretty likely day on day. We're seeing the strength of Roglic throughout this race. He's looking he's looking pretty unshakable, actually. It's hard to. He's looking like the guy who's always kind of making the moves. He's not kind of reacting. He's definitely on the front foot. So I think that's a good call to make.
Nilson Oliveira, next rider to start, probably the best. Well, I kind of want to say best card for Movistar, but yeah, he's let me down a number of times. A great rider, but yeah, he's been on the
Um,
podium of the European Championships or something, or the World's
yeah,
top five, definitely. But
yeah. I think he was like sixth or seventh in the world's TT this year. So like he has these fantastic dates, but then other days he kind of doesn't really do too much, and he finishes 23rd or something. And it's hard to pin down what Nelson Oliveira is going to do, but again, he's kind of like a Castro Viejo sort of in my eyes, where he's one of the kind of old guards of a TT world, where he was kind of smashing it around in 2016, 2017. And but he's still got it. He's probably one of the better time trialists Movistar has, and I reckon he could go faster than Lascano, because Lascano was like a minute down of the first check on Ganna, who still holds the fastest time, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. We haven't really mentioned anybody getting close because nobody has. Like Ganna's just been pretty unfathomable. You can't. I doubt that his time will be under threat until we get to much later on in this TT.
yeah, it's a pretty tall order for anyone to beat that time. Actually, 56 kilometers an hour on average with that bit of a lump that we saw as well. Castillejo, 20.4 kilometers still to go. I'm still working on getting us that top 10. Um,
I've
we,
managed to
we have
find
it
it.
now. We have it. Um, so, yeah, as you can see there, Sepp Kuss leading, obviously, the GC. And then Marc Soler, you made him Rider of the Week, did you not?
I did.
And yeah, 43 seconds down, but Remco Evenepoel 2 minutes and 22 seconds. So a bit to make up for sure.
Yeah, but I don't think it's. I think it's just on the cusp, because that means that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it is probably quite a lot for Kuss to lose, because that means he's going to need to lose something like he's going to need to lose quite a lot of time per kilometer. Basically, he's going to have to pretty much like not try. I think to lose this, because Evenepoel's going to need to pull out he's going to need to basically gain like a minute every 10 kilometers or so, which is going to be pretty hard to do, I think, because that means he's going to have to go like something like 6 or 7 seconds faster per kilometer, which is a pretty, but you'd have to be going light speed to be beating that. So I think that Kuss will probably hold on from very rudimentary mathematics, but it's whether Remco can take this stage win and take his second stage win of this Vuelta, because that would kind of be a bit of a gauntlet throw down to Jumbo-Visma. I mean, he's probably thinking more about putting distance into Jonas and Roglic and Ayuso and everyone else, rather than essentially gaining time on Kuss, because I think he seems pretty confident that he can beat Kuss. I think I saw that he said in an interview that he considers Kuss to be an outsider, to which the cycling Twitter sphere lost their minds and started saying how disrespectful that was or whatever it is. But I think he's kind of right. I feel like this is Sepp Kuss's third Grand Tour of the season. I feel like Remco will probably be able to drop him. When it comes to, because Kuss is a domestique at the end of the day. Unless Jumbo are gonna basically become Movistar, the El Tridente pronged attack. We'll wait and see how that. I mean, it never worked out for Movistar. Maybe Jumbo can make it work.
Oh, Mollema coming over the line here. It wasn't as fast as we were hoping. Even a top five. Um,
Dear.
yeah, he really went backwards here. He's going to be over 4 minutes down on Ganna here towards the finishing line. So that is not a good result for him. But yeah, we wait and see what is going to happen here on the stage. Plenty of riders still. Well, 42 riders still to come. And the next one to start is Rui Costa, because I think Javier Romo is not here. So that starter rider is apparently not to start. Then we get Jan Tratnik, who's quite a good tester as well. Won prologues in the past. And Ruben Fernandez, former winner of the Tour de l'Avenir. Yeah, we still haven't really got anyone threatening that top five of Ganna, Bissinger, Dens, Johansson, and Suderlin.
Yeah, nobody's. You're just like looking at the start list, just like begging for some competitor to turn up who's going to be like, please give us some kind of competitive time. I feel like it's just all going to come in the last like 30 minutes, though, Scott. Waiting for all these big GC players who are also fantastic time trialists to come and swoop into the top 10, and eventually just waiting for Remco to take to the start with his fresh World Champs livery being rolled out for the first time since his crowning World Championships in Stirling, where he, narrowly beat Filippo Ganna. The rivalry continues between the two of them.
I mean, we're seeing
as we're looking.
Joao Almeida here as well. It's quite an important day for him. Yeah, not probably where he would have wanted to be in terms of leadership of UAE, but yeah, him and Joao Almeida. He's not even the second rider right now in the GC. He's the third rider.
Yeah, literally. I know. Just when you think Zhao's going to get, his leadership. I mean, he did get it in the Giro. To be fair, he was given his fair crack at the whip, and he took third place. But that was without Mark in Spain, Soler, and Juan Ayuso, both of whom seem to get a boost from being in Spain, a bit like Roglic does.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we'll wait and see what happens here in terms of UAE Team Emirates. It's definitely an interesting team to watch. We're seeing Nelson Oliveira, Movistar. Their hopes are on the shoulders of Enric Mas another year. He's inside top 10. He's just behind Jonas Vingegaard. Seems like he's climbing quite well here. And who's this? Is this the Ecuadorian? Or I'm not even sure who the Colombian national time trial champion is.
Isn't it Caicedo?
So it's the Ecuadorian then. National champs kit. 15.4 kilometers still to go here. For Castroviejo, looks like he's going to get his first Miniman here. Come on. 4's the record. Ganna.
4's the record for Ganna.
Yeah, he almost called his motorbike.
Anybody will beat that today.
Yeah, that was pretty savage.
Considering that Evenepoel would have to...
Oh, yeah, it's not fair, is it?
Be impossible.
Yeah.
He's only got 3 people. Well, no, he'd have to try and overtake some serious big cheeses.
He might get Landa, to be honest.
Oh, he'll get Landa within 2K.
Ouch. Yeah, I mean, Castroviejo's not really passing his Miniman like Ganna did, where it looked like the Miniman was just painted to the floor.
Yeah, no, he's not going as fast as Ganna, that's for sure, but probably still going to put in a decent time, I think, Castroviejo. Probably like a top 20, as we're just looking at Juan Ayuso warming up on his trainer, trying to keep cool with the ice vest on. That's kind of been like the big revelation, like you say. Bingham was talking about trying to keep riders cool and how important that is. That seems like a new frontier, which is almost coming in like the last, big focus on that, especially on TT days and stuff. And our records is trying to keep the body temperature cool, because that helps to allow you to get the most out of your body. Because when you start getting really hot, you just start basically just shutting down basically. So keeping cool is just as important, especially in this blistering Spanish weather where fortunately we're blessed today with good weather rather than these kind of stage one antics, and we're in the daylight as well, which is a pretty that's a new thing for the Vuelta as well.
Sobrero coming over the finish line, 1 minute and 44 seconds down on Ganna. So yeah, there wasn't that great challenge that we were all hoping for, but yeah, we'll wait and see. But great to have almost 200 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's try and get to 100. Get involved in the poll as well. Who's going to be wearing the red jersey at the end of the stage? And of course, I'm joined by Patrick Blake, 1/3 of the Echelon Cycling Podcast and the I'll Do Cycling YouTube channel as well. But Ganna, he's sitting comfortably in that hot seat. It's not actually that hot. I think it's hotter here. I'm currently in the UK, and yeah, where I am, it's 28 degrees. Where they are, it's 26 degrees.
And we all know that the UK has like that buffer, where that kind of it's whatever the temperature is in summer plus like 5 easily. It's just it feels way worse. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And everybody knows far more that British people love to complain about the weather, whatever it is,
Cold,
rain
hot,
or shine.
yeah,
We love
exactly.
to just.
But Nilson Oliveira here, he's pushing on, 17.6 kilometers still to go here. And in terms of interesting riders coming up, we've got Geraint Thomas, former time trial champion in the Tour de France, stage winners and prologues, obviously. He's coming. Well, actually, he's coming up in 15 minutes, so not too long. Bardet, yes, he's still in the race. He's coming in 4-ish minutes, I think. So, yeah, not a great time trialist. Lost, just got a podium at the Tour de France, almost losing it to Landa at one point. Was that the 2017 Tour?
Yeah, I think it was. That was when Landa finished up quite high up in GC, helping out Froome Dog to win that race.
Oh, but Remco in that kit. First pictures I've seen in here. Yeah,
kit with his aero skin or whatever. Have you read that article?
No. Oh yeah, shoot! You're telling me. Yeah.
Like he doesn't wear long sleeve because his skin's more aero.
But wouldn't that be true for everyone then? I don't get it. I think we've just lost Patrick for a bit. But yeah, while we try and get Patrick back, Skype. Yeah, we're just seeing the finishing moments of a movie star rider here, coming across the line. But yeah, I'll just try and get you the kit as well. The kit from Remco Evenepoel, but we'll see if we can get Patrick back again. Oh, it's never a stream, is it, without technical difficulties. But Ganna still leading ahead of Biscayne 1 minute and 19 seconds. Nico Dents with a very strong time, 1 minute and 35 seconds down on Ganna. Sobrero 1 minute and 44 seconds down. Julius Johansson 1 minute and 54 seconds down. Loscano, he's only 2 minutes and 2 seconds down, so quite good from all those riders. And yeah, let's see if I can get Patrick back. That was quite funny. I haven't had that in a while, but yeah, I think we have him back.
Yeah, Cycling News DDoSed me because I started, talking about Remco's aero skin.
You just, yeah.
They DDoSed my account.
They didn't appreciate your tone.
No, I didn't.
But yeah, we're seeing Oliveira. We're still waiting for the big dogs. We've had one already. But yeah, I'm just sharing the picture of Remco Evenepoel's kit there. Well, and his very aero skin apparently. So, but yeah, Finn Fisher Black. Looks like he might be. Has he finished already? I think he was quite high up in the provisional time checks. But yeah, Bahrain next to start here with. Not quite sure because the thing's currently died. On Pro Cycling Stats.
So many people trying to use it.
Yeah, Live Stats is currently unavailable. Thank you. We'll have to go to the manual page then. It's the Mr. Sniper himself. Antonio Tiberi, or however you pronounce it. Yeah, riding for his new team, courtesy of that dead San Marie's cat, minister's cat. But yeah, he's a good time trialist on his day.
He is.
I mean, his first.
He's also got.
Yeah, did you see the first viral moment of him crashing before the finishing line in the UAE tour?
Yeah, I did see that. He's also got a tail gunner on his bike today. Looking out for any more cats on the in the streets of Spain.
Is it just San Marie's cats or is it any cats?
I reckon anything's on the table.
But it's like that's gonna stick to his career like glue now.
Well, that's his
That's for his
that's what
Wikipedia
he's known
page,
for.
isn't it?
That was one of my favorite videos that I made this year. It was just that was wow. I just couldn't believe the news when that happened. But anyway,
Romain Bardet.
lots of people dislike this man for what he did.
Yeah, Romain Bardet, next rider to start. Not really had the best Vuelta España. He's crashed, I think, a few times, no? But yeah, not the greatest TT rider. Maybe he'll get involved later in the race in terms of the Manta stages. Maybe get a breakaway win. Maybe get himself back into the GC again. Who knows? But Romain Bardet, the prized asset of the DSM. Okay, you're going to argue that it's going to be Max Poole, but Max Poole isn't higher up, so...
Well, next year it'll all be for Jakobsen, won't it? Jakobsen will be the prized boy.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm still surprised Victor Lafay is on €2 million next year.
Yeah.
So what is Jakobsen on? Like 20 million?
Must be. I mean, he's won more Grand Tour stages.
Yeah. I mean,
Although,
yeah.
how's it? Jakobsen and Lafay have won the same number of Tour de France stages.
That's true. But is it the same ratio though? Have they been to the same amount of Tour de France's?
I don't know.
But yeah, we're getting a next rider, Finn Fisher Black here. He looks like he's going to be troubling the top 10. Is he from New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the brightest prospects. He's not even the only Kiwi in that team. Michael Vink as well. Very nice guy, very tall guy as well. But yeah, finishing here, 5th fastest provisionally. Not a bad time from the UAE rider. And that data is obviously going to be funneled down the road to Juan Ayuso, Joao Almeida, and Marc Soler.
Oh, that's a very good time for him, considering that he's still, one of the youngsters in that UAE squad. And I think that, I never really touted him as a TT rider until this year. It's definitely a string to his bow that I think is quite unexpected. And, maybe he'll be one of the key rulers for UAE in the future, because people have pointed out that sometimes UAE don't have the strongest kind of set of rulers to be taken into Grand Tours, especially the Tour, to try and, control the breakaway phase. But they have made some decent signings with like Nils Pollitt coming in next year, and, Finn Fisher Black, I expect, will fulfill some sort of similar role. Although we did see that Finn Fisher Black, he climbs very well. He was right up there, supporting his leaders quite late into some of the mountain stages. So he's a very versatile rider, and we saw him doing well at, I think it was the Tour of Sicily earlier this year, which I think I can't remember if he won it, but he was very competitive there.
Yeah, no, he was. I think he was top 5, but yeah, still very close. I remember someone putting down a bet for him winning stage 1 or something and getting a huge return on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, nevertheless, Finn Fisher Black 1 minute and 51 seconds down, 5th fastest, 52.4 kilometers an hour, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens now. But yeah, he's shaking his head here. I mean, I'm not sure if it's that hot for these riders, because most of them are based in the southern hemisphere anyway, so they probably like this. In terms of next riders to look out for, Matteo Cattaneo has a good TT on his day. Leonard Kemna, obviously. Geraint Thomas. Attila Valter. Nah, I think that's stretching. Outerbrook's coming up. Vlasov. And then we pretty much are inside the top 10. So we're not far away from the top 10. Is Joao Almeida the last one in top 10? Yeah, he is. So he is starting in about half an hour's time.
Nice. Getting into the big dogs.
Yeah.
And also, if people are interested, the the Tour of Britain and the CIMAC Ladies Tour have just finished. So if you want to go look at those results, then go and do that now. I won't spoil them for anyone in case they want to watch highlights or whatever. But I'm just letting you know
Oh my goodness.
they've finished, so you can go and look at that or at your own leisure.
Oh my goodness. Just saw the Tour of Britain result. Copy paste.
Yeah.
Almost. But yeah, anyways, back to the Vuelta España. We are having who's this starting? Is that Catano? I think it is. Mattia Catano.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go on, Bob Donaldson. Sorry, that's the only sorry, I was hyping up. He won the Otley Grand Prix this year, Scott, so therefore he is destined for good things.
Yeah. Well, mixing it in with the big guys.
Biggest race in Yorkshire easily.
Well, Tour of Yorkshire's gone now, so
All right, we don't need to bash on about that.
yeah.
Back to the Vuelta.
Yeah, Catania starting off, and he's probably going to be one of the markers or whatever. They're going to be reporting back to Remco Evenepoel. And I mean, yeah, it's not the strongest. Well, I think it's probably as strong as you could do a quick step team, but when you're comparing it against Ineos, well, not Ineos now, but UAE and Jumbo, they just need that extra level of support around Remco to really be challenged.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's the thing which I think is holding Remco back is that he's lacking that person to set pace when things really start to hit the fan, so to say. I think that he's lacking that. Of course, with like Van Wilder isn't here, which that he gave his reasons for that, which were perfectly fair. Which that he doesn't want to just be a domestique all the time. But how much difference would a Van Wilder make here? That might help Remco out. But I think it's certainly something which Quickstep are looking at now as okay, we've got this really fantastic rider in terms of he's right up there with the best in the world, but we're lacking support in the mountains. So I think Quickstep haven't made that many signings or announced signings so far in this sort of transfer window, if you want to call it that. So I'm intrigued to still see what's going to happen with them in terms of are we going to bring in support for Remco and who might that be?
I mean,
Because
Landa.
I think that is.
They brought in Landa.
I mean, is he a confirmed
Yeah, he's
signing?
confirmed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is. I mean, no offense to Landa, but I feel like one man isn't going to solve the issue.
Whoa. No, none of this Landissimo hate.
Well, do you remember they brought in Jan Hurt after that fantastic Giro performance, and he hasn't really lived up to that billing.
Lena Kemna now starting. Yeah, go on.
But I feel like this isn't just like we need one man and he's going to be the silver bullet. I think it's more of a stronger team on the whole, which is required. It's a bit more of a restructuring, which is needed. I think Quickstep maybe. I don't want to say they need to kind of drop the kind of the classics ambition.
I thought they had. They're not very good in the classics anymore.
They kind of have, but they're still paying probably big riders quite a bit of money who don't perform supremely well in the classics compared to the juggernauts. Maybe they'd be better investing that into support for Remco.
They need to sign Wout van Aert. Then they can.
Easy. There you go.
Yeah, that would solve all the problems.
It's that easy.
Not even kidding, because he would be up there in the classics for them, and then he could support Remco in the Grand Tours. But yeah. Well, that's probably you're probably never going to see much of Evenepoel or Wout van Aert signing for Quickstep for whatever reason.
No. I mean, we know how well Wout van Aert and Remco Evenepoel work when they're on the same national team, so I'm sure it would work fantastically.
Yeah. We're just seeing Tiberi here. He is 18.8 kilometers from the finishing line. But in terms of next riders coming up, obviously we've seen Bookman go up. Sergio Higuita is coming up. Well, he's left the field. Rudy Molaz, the next rider to start. Then Juan Pedro Lopez, who we haven't really seen much of, to be honest, since his stint at the Giro last year.
Yeah, we haven't. He's been kind of hanging around in the fringes. I think he's inside the top 20 right now. So I think he's just kind of plugging away at a decent GC
Castroviejo
performance.
Are you seeing
this?
Yeah,
Castroviejo's doing decent time here.
being in Spain, national champion. He's gonna sit inside the top 3 here. Yeah, third fastest provisionally for the Spanish former
There we
European
go.
champion, so not a bad time from
The eye test worked again. We said he was going fast. Perfect.
Yeah, but I think Remco Evenepoel and them and Quickstep, they should sign the 2 riders who are coming up shortly, Botrago and Rubio. Great climbing support.
Ooh. Yeah, because Boitrago is out of contract, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
I think he is.
Oh, that would be a sneaky signing.
That would be pretty sneaky.
Get on the phone, Lefebvre. How good is
I
his
can't-
Spanish?
I'm excited.
He's
I'm
had
excited to see what
Colombians
he-
before.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
Uran, Gaviria. That worked out pretty well, to be honest.
I mean, yeah. They did. Through their stints at Quickstep, respectively, they did some really good things.
Yeah.
I
I still
remember
think
Gaviria at Quickstep. What
Quickstep Gaviria was like insane. He was like
that was a
next
hard
level.
man to beat.
Yeah. But then,
Crazy.
yeah, I think he enjoyed the money a bit too much when he went to UAE and started not training as hard. What is it they say? It's hard to train when you're wearing silk pajamas.
I've never heard that,
Oh,
but
it's like
that's a
it's a
brilliant
boxing
thing.
term. I'm just taking the world of boxing to cycling.
The crossover you didn't know that you needed.
Boxing and cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's quite niche compared to like Formula One and cycling.
Yeah. Yeah,
Geraint Thomas now.
you can draw parallels between those two. Geraint
Yeah,
Thomas.
I think all of the Formula One drivers pretty much cycle anyway.
Yeah. And
Alonso
quite a
wanted,
lot of the site.
yeah, Alonso wanted to make a World Tour team with Contador back in the day as well. I was praying
Oh,
for that to
really?
happen, but it didn't happen for whatever
And
reason.
quite a lot of the peloton also quite like F1.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a symbiotic thing. Maybe it's just like aero-ness. People like the aero aspects. Although F1 is more complicated in that sense, I suppose.
yeah,
More kind of
way
more
more.
shapes and stuff going on. But anyway, Geraint Thomas has rolled off the ramp. Let's see if he can stay upright.
Ouch! Through the shade for no reason. Poor Geraint.
Well, listen, he's doing rubbish on my Vela Games team. He needs a bit of a kick. Needs to get jump started. You know, right? I need some points here, my guy.
Yeah, well, maybe
I
we'll
mean,
see. Are you doing the Velo games where you can't change the riders?
yeah,
Because
it's more brutal that way, but I kind of like it more. It's simpler. But anyway, yeah. I mean, G almost won. To be fair, I mean, it was against a COVID-ridden like Remco Evenepoel. Like God knows what his viral load was. Like, but G almost beat Evenepoel at that second TT in the Giro d'Italia. He was only 1 second, not even. I don't think it was less than a second. So Geraint Thomas has some very good TT credentials, and I think that if he was in really good form, I'd be thinking he'd be like a top 5 candidate here. But of course, the crashes which he's had in this race so far, it does kind of make me question what he's going to be like. He has had a rest day, so that is probably in his favour. But I'm still, I don't know, I'm feeling pessimistic about his ability to perform today just because of those crashes which he's had. He's been talking about knee pain and stuff like that, which that's pretty integral considering that cycling involves knee movement. So, but you know what? I think that G will probably still finish inside the top 10.
yeah, well, inside the top 10 of GC or here the stage.
Oh, just a stage.
Ah, okay.
I think GC kind of gone.
Yeah, GC is definitely gone. But we just saw Egan Bernal finishing 17th at the finish. Not too bad of a TT for him. Oliveira, he's on a fast time here as well. So, I mean, Oliveira and Castrovejo, who I normally have a lot of faith in and don't do anything, here, no faith. And they're both firing on all cylinders. It looks like he's going to get himself inside at least top 5 or even second place here now. Because
I reckon he might beat Bissiger,
yeah,
yeah.
I think he's going to be inside Bissinger's time. He's got about 15 seconds to get to the finishing line.
I think he can do it.
Yeah, I think he's inside Bissinger's time. So we have a new second place, which is Oliveira. Who saw that coming?
I mean, also, Like you say, it's so hard to tell sometimes. This is like rolling back the clock. Oliveira, Castro Viejo up there.
Nico Dance.
This is yeah. This is winding the clock back. I feel like Oliveira sometimes really hits TTs like real hard, and he does really well. And then other times, probably the times where you back him, he doesn't do as well. Maybe it's because you weren't
Yeah,
backing him
I
today.
was
Maybe that's
not
why.
backing him. Um,
It's your curse.
yeah, but
Like when you say that Jonas won't win the tour, and then he wins.
yeah, but I don't know if I picked him for the well. I picked Ayuso for the win this year, but
You did, didn't you?
yeah, maybe. Well, who you picked? Remco, no? Roglic.
No, I picked Jonas for the win.
Ah, okay.
I think I said Jonas, then Remco, then Ayuso.
But it's so hard to gauge because it's well,
Anything could happen.
yeah, and then it's like
People
form.
still,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think cycling's like one of the worst sports to bet on
Oh
because
yeah.
it's like they could just
Oh, it's
crash
so
at
bad.
any point. An old lady can walk in ahead of the peloton, and then suddenly the whole team is wiped out.
Yeah, literally.
22.3
It's
kilometers for Geraint Thomas here, the former British national time trial champion. And we've got Remy Rochard is the next rider to start. They've got the 2 minute gaps now, intervals. Butrago and
oh,
Rubio really remind me of each other. Obviously, they're both Colombian. They're both Colombian climbers, but they're all always like on the fringes of top 10. They both won stages as well in the Giro, so it's quite funny. And here they are, like
yeah,
neck and neck again.
yeah, literally. You are kind of right. They are. It's like you can't separate them, can you? I would say initial eye test on Geraint Thomas is quite good.
Really, I think he's labouring,
I,
but
I mean, no,
I'm
no,
trusting you.
that's
I'm
just
trusting
his
you.
style. That's just what he does.
21.6 kilometers. So does that mean he's gonna be close to the top five? Do you think he was faster than
Nah,
Loscano?
yeah. I think that. Yeah, I do think I stick by. I think he'll come top 10.
Well then,
I'll stick by.
top 10 on the stage. Geraint Thomas. Um, yeah. I wonder what Ganna said to him. Actually, Filippo Ganna wasn't 56 kilometers an hour. It was 55.968.
Boo!
Yeah.
Try harder.
Try hard. Is it like 2 seconds or
Joking, by the
something? He
way.
has to do quicker. But yeah, Catania here, another Italian, quite good against the clock. 15.8 kilometers left. And yeah, what can he do? Is he going to be the best rider for Quickstep, or is Remco Evenepoel going to do what we all think? Jan Hurt, 94th at the first time check, 2
Oh,
minutes and 26 seconds down on Ghana.
well, they didn't get the Peter Seri memo, did they? That's that. Obviously, nobody's listening to Peter Seri and his 55 k's an hour.
That never actually happened. We have to say
I
that.
mean, it did. It did.
It was on there for quite a long time.
It did.
And
It definitely did.
yeah, but yeah, Catania just coming around the corners here. 15 kilometers still to go for the Italian. And
Did he win a Tour Polonia TT? Was that?
oh, that does ring a bell.
I think he won with Polonia TT this year, so he is a very strong time trialist for sure.
We've got Stefan Kras coming up as well. Where was it he crashed out? Was it the Tour where he looked like he was gonna maybe be inside top 10, top 15?
Yeah, I think it was. Oh, yeah, I think it was the Tour. He's been quite good. I think that he is one of the kind of overachievers for Total Energies in this race. I think that he's trying to be a bit of their best GC hope, basically.
But we're seeing Enric Mas also just warming up. Not a man that is especially steeped in TT accolades, but definitely a good Grand Tour rider for sure, and even better when it's the Vuelta España.
Oh yeah, but Enric Mas follows the same formula every year, which is that he does a pretty okay Dauphiné, then he tanks the Tour,
That he
and
he
then
was
he keeps
fifth.
the Vuelta.
He's been fifth in the Tour.
Yeah, but on usual trends, he he actually doesn't care about the Tour de France. He
It's
really
just a
cares about
warm
the
up,
Vuelta.
just a warm up race for
Yeah,
the real race.
the Tour is just a warm up. Enric Mas purposefully crashed himself out of the Tour so that he could peak for the Vuelta. It's right there.
That was pretty sad though. That Carapaz and Mas
That
out on the
was
first stage, just like, oh come on. I think they would have been definitely inside, well, troubling the top 10, but where? Not sure. We're seeing Geraint Thomas here, and on the climb, 17 kilometers an hour. So that just shows you like how fast they go on the descent as well.
yeah. The fact that you having to basically make up that speed on the descent is more accolade to how freaking fast Ganna is. Like super fast. Like the fact that he went nearly just shy of 56 k's an hour. If Andy went up that climb, oh, I mean that's hella fast.
I mean, I'm not sure how many people were watching this stage, but we spoke about it on the Echelon, one of the very first ones, I think. In the San Juan International Stage Race this year, Ghana actually dropped Remco Evenepoel on a climb, a big climb, the Alto Colorado, and finished second behind Miguel Angel Lopez.
Superman.
Yeah. Is he? He must be banned now, is he not?
Superman
I swear
Lopez.
we're giving him way too much airtime. And I blame
It's
myself
because
for
he's just
this.
a meme. It's like him and Nairo, they're just memes.
Yeah, I mean, none of them are riding, unfortunately, anymore, which is a great shame for Colombia. It's kind of like the Colombian golden generation isn't there anymore. We've
It's not gold.
Yeah, now we just got Protago and Rubio, who win a few
Literally.
stages here and there, but not quite the big GC juggernauts that they had. I mean, just that generation: Quintana, Miguel Angel Lopez, Uran,
Mm.
Egan Bernal. It's just crazy.
Chavez.
Yeah, Chavez. Yeah, almost won the Giro. Yeah, you're right. Rui Costa here coming up towards the finish now as well. Former world champion on the road, 3 times Tour de Suisse, GC winner, and yeah, had a bit of rejuvenation in the beginning of the year, but not quite followed through with that later in the season. But 19th, it's looking like provisionally here.
Yeah, I think Rui Costa's had like you said, like you were. I remember you gave him ride of the week way early back when he won the what was it the Volta Comunitat Valenciana? Was it something like that? It was one of those early season Spanish stage races. I can't remember if it was that or the Ruta del Sol, but it was one of those that he won on the final stage. And yeah, he's had a very kind of rejuvenated year, and he was like arguably the man to beat from like in February and like early March. You know, he was the man. Oh, I've got a bike change for
Oh shoot, Geraint Thomas.
Grant Thomas. Oh, let's see because it's very. I said let's hope he hasn't crashed.
Yeah, like
For
what
goodness
happened
sake,
there?
please crash.
What happened there? Like we haven't seen anyone having any problems so far, and then Geraint Thomas.
He's cursed,
Yeah,
fully cursed at the Vuelta.
what happened? Oh, that's a
I
shame.
mean, that'll cost
Oh, here we go.
what?
Oh my goodness. Oh no, it's a puncture. It's puncture. I think it's a puncture. Yeah, it looks like a rear puncture. Is it a rear puncture? So mechanical, not a crash.
Yeah, not a crash, thank Christ.
Yeah.
I am, I it's a bit off topic. I'm always surprised by as to how many like punctures and stuff are around the peloton. Like I go for a ride quite a lot on my bike, and it's just like, mate, it's just they just don't just put tubeless tires on. They just don't puncture.
And I mean, you haven't got a mechanic
Just
setting
put on
up
some
your bike every
yeah,
morning.
just put some Conti GP 5000s on with some sealant in there, mate. It just don't puncture. I just refuse to believe.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what are you running? Like latex tubes that are like just the most puncture prone things going.
He's
What are we doing?
1 minute and 3 seconds down right now.
For goodness sake.
Yeah, but that is on Ghana, so
Well,
if he maintains that all the way to the finish, he's going to be the second fastest. So
well, that's very true. And I wonder if that included the puncture as
probably
well.
not. Yeah, you wouldn't think so. Uh,
Yeah.
Great to have over 200 people in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. We're on 51 likes. Let's try and get to 100. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. We've got Stefan Kras coming up next, the Total Energies rider. Then after that, the defending champion of the Angleroo, Hugh Carthy, who also has a good TT on him sometimes. So we'll have to wait and see for that. He's kind of been hit or miss since his Vuelta. He's been in the top 10 in the Giro, but not like impressively. It's kind of been like getting back into top 10 via breakaways. It's not been, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not been the Carthy that we're accustomed to in kind of like the COVID aftermath, sort of in the COVID era. Yeah, like you say, he's been kind of getting into breakaways more and gaining time back that way. So not being kind of like the most competitive GC rider that we've been kind of become accustomed to. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's slowly starting to come back though into that sort of role. He's been up there in some of the mountain days. He's had good flashes, but I feel like we are still a little bit of a far cry away from the sort of 2020, 2021 Hugh Carthy.
Yeah, Danny in the comments just saying whatever happened at the Tour of Britain, Jumbo Visma won the first three stages. Yeah, great to have you joining us from Florida. But
Fun.
yeah, we still have Ghana leading in front of Oliveira, then Bissinger, then Castroviejo, then Nico Dens. That's our top five right now, and Ghana's looking very bored at the on the hot seat right now, but waiting for Remco.
Yeah, literally. That's what he'll be waiting for. He's just sitting there waiting for the world TT champ to set off. I mean, I guess the advantage to Ganna not being the world TT champ is that we do get to see the Italian tricolore. It's the one small silver lining we get.
Yeah, Hugh Carthy here, as we spoke about before, the man from Preston, 14th in GC, setting off now, and we'll see what damage he can do potentially. The man in front of him in terms of GC is Autobrooks. Then you've got Blazov, De La Cruz, and I mean, you would probably expect De La Cruz to disappear, but like that seems quite mean to say because De La Cruz has this remarkable achievement at the Vuelta a España. I think he's finished 7th or 8th 3 times. I'll just make sure to get Pro Cycling Stats is down for the minute, but I think it's either 7th or 8th. He's finished 3 times at the Vuelta a España. It's like one of these really unique stats. But yeah, Hugh Carthy. Where do you think, is he going to be fast or is he going to be hit or miss?
Miss. I think it's going to be a miss.
Great to have Paddy as well in the comments. And do we have any Irish riders?
None off the top of my head that I can think of.
Sam Bennett's at the Tour of Britain. Jan Hirt coming to the line here, the Czech rider. Yeah, it's a shame that he didn't stay with Intermarché, but after that incredible Giro last year, but who knows what he's on now. Quickstep will probably have handed how many extra zeros did he get to his Intermarché contract?
Probably one. Extra one.
But yeah, that almost stormtrooper-esque helmet, visor, shall I say. It must be effective, like, or else they wouldn't be using it.
Well, yeah, Remco wears it. Must be fast. We've got Itebrooks rolling off the ramp now.
Yeah.
He's a bit, again, another rider who is a little bit hit and miss in the TTs. I think back to the junior ranks. I think it was like, I can't remember if it was the national champs of like Belgium, but he was right behind Alex Segart, who is like Lotto Destiny's big kind of TT hope. He's touted as being one of the big TT kind of destroyers. Of course, he finished second in the under 23 ranks, and Eidebrook was only a few seconds behind him, like a couple of years ago, in terms of TT ability. But he doesn't seem to have like continued that on into the senior ranks, which is a little bit. So it's kind of like he's lost that TT edge, but maybe he's just spent more time on his climbing ability.
I think you're right there. He probably has lost a bit. Yeah. I remember talking to of Nordscore of Movie about this, and he was saying like riders don't want to go on their TT bike because it's kind of like a chore for many of these riders who are not
Mm.
like what what would you say, naturally gifted at it. I don't enjoy it. Like obviously Britain has a huge culture of it, but maybe other countries it is a bit of a chore. But Vlasov next there, 12th in GC, 3 minutes and 51 seconds down on Sepp Kuss. And yeah, Vlasov, wasn't he the former Russian time trial champion?
I don't know. I suppose if he is, he'd just get a white jersey now,
Yeah,
wouldn't he?
I mean, I don't even know if they do the championships anymore.
Probably not.
But yeah, let us know as well where you're watching from in terms of countries. Plenty of countries around in the chat. I saw Americans, Danes, Irish, etc. But yeah, Vlasov, he's the next man to push off here for Bora. Him and Autobrooks have a bit of a, yeah, I don't know. Are they fighting for the leadership of the team here?
I think they're just existing together quite well. They're not really butting heads. I think they're just doing their own sort of thing. Neither is helping the other, especially. It's just sort of every man for himself. But they are in a bit of a tricky spot in GC, aren't they? Where they're about over a minute down. You know, but they're too close to going to breaks, but they're kind of a little bit out of GC. So it's kind of just that awful middle ground where you just kind of have to slog away and hope that somebody has a bad day in front of you and you move up a couple of places. So they have a tough spot where they're at, I think. But I think this TT will help to decide maybe a little bit of leadership in Bora. I think that Vlasov, his TT has improved over the years. I think especially since joining Bora, it's got better. So I'm expecting probably Vlasov to have the slightly better time of the two today.
Yeah, I mean, the leadership thing, people are always like, oh, well, you can just have the two riders be there and let them kind of take advantage
Run
of
race.
Jumbo. But, like, if one of them has a puncture, one of them needs a bottle in that crucial situation on the Angleroo, who waits? Does anyone wait?
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do you put your faith in the established guy, Vlasov, or the guy with the enormous potential in terms of Autobrooks? Yeah, well, maybe they'll not have to find out. But 11th in GC, 3 minutes and 39 seconds down. Next rider to start, David De La Cruz for Astana. He is definitely their best card, and I think he probably could be on for a top 10 again. As we were saying earlier, he's been there quite a number of times, but not exactly the best time trialist, and he's probably going to prove me wrong now.
Yeah, he's not the best, but he's not the worst. He's just very okay for a GC rider. And I think that that's actually quite an advantage in a way. You just kind of you get the job done. You don't lose that much time, but you don't really gain that much time on anybody else. But sometimes it's just about putting in a solid performance and trying not to lose that much time. And I think that's something which De La Cruz does quite well.
Yeah, we might get rid of the poll because we have 255 of you voting, and 47% of you believe it is going to be Sepp Kuss keeping that jersey. Roglic, 16% of you believe he's going to take it. And yeah, 14% Jonas Vingegaard, 22% Remco Evenepoel. So not a lot of you believing that it's going to be Remco Evenepoel taking it over from Sepp Kuss. But yeah, 67
Mm.
likes. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button. And yeah, I mean, Patrick, has your pick of today been swayed yet? I know we don't have Remco now, so you
Mm.
can't really judge. But Catania here, he's doing a blistering time right now.
Catania is doing a really good ride. He's going to probably slot into second place pretty comfortably. And the winner of a time trial at the Tour Polonia this year, I reckon he has taken a step up in his TT ability this year. I think he used to be more like a climbing esque rider, whereas now I feel like he's fitting himself more into a rouleur role, but he is still a very good climber actually. Because think back to he's pretty much like the last mountain domestique Evenepoel has in these stages, so he's a
Second.
really good all rounder. Which
Yes.
second,
Second, 1 minute and 9 seconds down.
yeah, he's a really good all rounder for Evenepoel to have. As Almeida just rolls off a ramp as well now. Of course, he did a really good TT in that first stage of the Giro d'Italia, that kind of lightning fast one, which Evenepoel ended up dominating. Almeida was third on that stage, I believe. So Almeida is kind of refinding that fantastic TT kind of grit he had when he first joined Quick Step a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Portuguese national time trial champion as well. On top of that, but as we've spoken about so many times on the Echelon Cycling Podcast, the UAE getting national kits, it's not the best, to be honest.
No.
Guys, just make the whole kit the flag. But yeah, we'll wait and see if Remco Evenepoel can do something here. Obviously, Almeida and Remco used to be teammates. Just think about that, like Almeida and Remco on the same team. That's quite incredible.
Yeah. I know I don't remember they didn't work that well together in the 2021 Giro, where Evenepoel was coming back from that Il Lombardia crash. I remember them not working particularly great together. Of course, Evenepoel left that race, and Almeida went on to finish. I think it was in fourth place in like 16 days in the jersey. But it is crazy to think back as to the riders that were together on teams, isn't it? And think as to wow, if that was the case today, how insane would it be to have X rider and Y rider together in this kind of super team?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure we can. Well, the Axiom Hagen's Bowman team, there's probably some
Oh yeah,
combinations there that. But next rider to start is Juan Ayuso, and he's ninth in GC, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. He's already won a time trial this year in the Tour de Suisse. Did he win the Romandy one as well?
yeah. I think he did win the Romandy one, which was it was a strange one. It went up a hill and then down the other side of it, so it wasn't a traditional TT. And the one which he won in the Tour de Suisse also contained a hill in there. I think it was something like 1.5k at 8% or something. So the TTs which he has done well in have contained a hill. Of course, this one does contain a small one, but not of the kind of magnitude of the ones that he's succeeded on this year. So it would be interesting to see how a user does on a more flat course. I think last year he on a very flat TT in the Vuelta, in the middle of the of the Vuelta. I think he did quite well. I think he finished top 15. Very respectable performance, and I think that he's taken a step up in his TT. So I think a top 10 is probably on the cards for a user here.
Yeah, I mean, him and Joao Almeida, again, one of these teams that need to sort out the. Well, Marc Soler, like we said, is even further up in GC. So, yeah, courtesy of the breakaway, etc. But yeah, it's an interesting team, to be honest. But we'll wait and see. Do you think Ayuso is going to catch Almeida?
No, I don't think he'll catch him.
Yeah, I mean that's asking for
I don't know
much.
who's actually going to go faster.
I could see Jonas Vingegaard getting close to Enric Mas or Remco getting close to Landa
Oh yeah,
in terms of minimum and the big GC
oh,
guys here.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean Sepkus
Yeah,
just
it's 2 minute
catches
men now, is
everyone.
that
Huh?
right?
Say that again.
Isn't because it's like there's 2 minute gaps now, isn't it? So you need
Yeah,
to.
I mean Ghana would still catch at least two men.
Oh yeah.
But Enric Mas, the next rider to start, eighth in GC, 2 minutes and 33 seconds down. Movie stars talisman. Is he going to be able to do it here? Where do you think he's going to finish? Top 30, top 20, top 5, top 10?
Top. Yeah, top 30 probably. I think he has done well over TTs in the past, but those have been quite rolling terrain. I think this is just more of a power course. I don't think it suits Mass as much.
Former quick step rider, obviously. Yeah. He kind of just appeared in the 2018 Vuelta España, finishing second to Simon Yates at the time. But yeah, I think he's a fairly consistent GC rider.
Yeah, he's probably one of the most consistent GC riders, isn't he?
Yeah, that was why it was a shame that him and Carapaz kind of took each other
Mhm.
out because they were both, yeah, they are both so consistent. But we're seeing Roglic here, ice packed up as well. Um, yeah, I was just thinking, Enric Mas, like you said, Dauphiné 17th, the Basque Country 5th, Tirreno Adriatico 6th. In the time trial in Tirreno, he was 23rd, and in terms of the Dauphiné, he was 55th. Uh, so yeah, TT not judging by this year, it could be 30, like you said, top 30 at a push.
Yeah, it's not he doesn't have the finest of pedigree in the TT, but he usually kind of limits the damage quite well, I think, as we're just seeing
The best rider in the world,
the
Mr.
man
Cycling
himself.
himself, Jonas Vingegaard, Tour de France champion. Obviously, I'm going to be biased. Uh, Imagine if he was from Yorkshire, you would go crazy right now.
I
But
would do, but
yeah,
he's not.
Jonas Vingegaard, very, very good against the clock on his day. Is it going to be his day today? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, very aggressive the way he rode the Tour de France one. There was a comparison done between him and Tadej Pogacar in the first, what was it, like the first 500 meters, and he already, like, just by the way he was navigating around the course, he had already taken like at least 10 minutes, 10 seconds, not 10 minutes.
I'm just seeing Garrett Thomas rolling into the line now. He is, well, I don't think he's going to be doing my prediction of finishing inside the top 10. In fact, he's, well, already outside of that. He looks like he's just rolled across the line. Wasn't really going full gas to the line, though. It makes it feel like he probably gave up on the effort when he realised it wasn't going to be a good result. Maybe just trying to save his legs for, you know, breakaways maybe in the following week. He was hinting at that just before the rest day.
Bigger and better things.
Mm.
I mean, a stage win would be a great thing to add to his palmares. Um, but yeah, 24.9 kilometers still to go here for Jonas Vingegaard. Obviously, it's a 25.8 kilometer course around Valladolid, this quite pretty city in Spain. But we're seeing Juan Ayuso, very aerodynamic position on the bike, and yeah, Remco Evenepoel as well, ice packed up, and we'll see what the world time trial champion can do. The first one that Belgians had in the men's elite. Obviously, Eddie Merckx could never win this because it only existed in 1992 or 93. But Remco Evenepoel here, absolutely incredible. Um,
Mm.
but Primoz Roglic is the next rider to start. 2 minutes and
Oh,
29 seconds. Mr. Vuelta España himself, sixth overall currently, and many people's prediction for winner. Actually, Geraint Thomas finished 10th.
did he?
Yeah.
Well, he'll finish outside of the top 10 after all
Yeah.
these guys have filtered through.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Tiberi is in, the sniper himself is 7th. What? It's not going to disappear. Sorry. In memory of the cat. Um, but yeah, Roglic. What's the eye test saying for Roglic? I know it's a bit too early. It's 30 seconds in.
So I don't know, he's looking good so far. But I think a lot of the GC riders were looking good. I think they're all putting their best foot forward today. They're all good time trials is the thing. Gone are the days of, where it's like, oh, here's Nairo and Roman Bardet and they're going to hemorrhage however many minutes to Chris Froome in a TT. It's everyone's very close in their TT abilities nowadays. Apart from, Remco probably has the edge on everyone in terms of a GC rider, but Roglic versus Ayuso versus Almeida is you can throw a blanket across it, to be honest.
19, well, inside the last 20 kilometers for Juan Ayuso here. 7 minutes into his effort. We're going to get the time checks as well, obviously. But yeah, for each riders, these are the big boys now of the race. We've still got Lander. Lander's the next rider to start. Never finished inside the top 10 of his home Grand Tour, which I think is quite an impressive stat by him. Remco Evenepoel, next rider after him. Then Lenny Martinez, then Marc Soler, and then finally our red jersey wearer of Sepp Kuss. So yeah, we're not far away now. 8 minutes before Sepp Kuss takes to the start line.
And here is the aforementioned Lander. fifth place in GC right now. We'll see if he can hold on to. Do you reckon he can hold on to the top 10?
I want Landa to win. I'm a big Landa fan. Wow. I heard that,
He's not gonna
Snigger.
win.
I
He's
heard
not
that,
gonna
Snigger.
win.
Well, I wanted him to win the Giro a few years ago, but it didn't happen after stage 5 crash. I think, yeah, the Grand Tour winning Landa is been and gone, unfortunately. He definitely could have won a Grand Tour.
Maybe.
But it's quite good for Spain, though, because they've lost Contador, they've lost Valverde, they've lost Joaquim Rodriguez, and now the new generation, Carlos Rodriguez, Juan Ayuso, is kind of coming through the ranks. So I think Spain's in a good place. Ooh, Vlasov here, second quickest in the first time check.
That's a good time.
That is a very good time. Who saw this coming?
Only 23 seconds down.
Yeah, yeah, on Ganna. But yeah, like you said, these times might get blitzed now completely.
You have a idea, who knows?
We're seeing Juan Ayuso here. What's the eye test saying here? 18.8 kilometers left for him.
He's looking a lot faster than what Sobrero was going up here. Like, he's just crested the top of the climb and he was, proper giving it some beans going up there. So I feel like, yeah, Ayuso's looking pretty fast.
I mean, we just lost Patrick there for a second. You're saying he was looking pretty fast, but Primož Roglic is looking quite fast as well. No, he's quite deceptive.
Yeah, I think
but
everyone's fast.
The time has come, people. Remco Evenepoel, the world time trial champion, is gonna start his first ever time trial in the rainbow jersey. What is he going to do here? That is the big question. Are we going to see him absolutely obliterate the field? Is he going to take the red jersey back? I mean, 78% of you are saying no. But yeah, Remco Evenepoel, he has started his assault on this course round Valladolid.
He's just... He just looks like the fastest guy, doesn't he? Compare. I just think, yeah, I don't know. I think in comparison to the other GC guys who have come.
Oh yeah, okay, fine.
His whole kind of like package just looks a little bit just more aero.
Yeah. This is the first time trial really that we've seen him up against Jonas Vingegaard as well.
Be interesting to see who comes out on top and by how much, because this is going to be a yardstick which may very well be used when we talk about the Tour de France next year, thinking already that far ahead, when undoubtedly we're going to have this big battle between these guys once more, and we're going to be talking about TT differences and stuff, and this will be used as a reference.
JT asking when is the sunset today. That's quite funny.
So now probably about 10 minutes away.
Yeah, but alluding to like what happened on the first stage, and then also like DP Cooper saying he looks angry already. God, I love angry Remco Evenepoel. Yeah, he seems to have a bit more of a temper than some other riders. I can't remember Tadej Pogačar or Jonas Vingegaard ever showing any anger.
No, I can't either.
Roglic, no. Froome, no.
Except
well, Froome, yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what happens here. But Lenny Martinez, one of the breath of fresh air, 1 minute and 2 seconds down, wearing the white jersey as well. How far can he go in this race? That's the big question. Stage 10 and being third place, that's no mean feat, but I think it's his first Grand Tour, no?
Yeah, and it's hard to tell what's going to happen because we've had, you look at Martinez and you'd say, oh, this guy's going to do a bad TT, but you just never know because a lot of these small riders nowadays are really improving their TT ability. So I'm unwilling to write him off already and say that he's going to hemorrhage 2-3 minutes or whatever, because I feel like everything's changed, even like the last few years, where even like Godu has put in some decent TT performances in the past. He's also put in very shambolic ones, but he has also put in good ones.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're just seeing Juan Ayuso here. 14.8 kilometers left for him. I'm not quite sure if we've got our first time check. Rubio 44th on the first time check. Brooks 18th. De La Cruz 14th. And Vlasov, as we said, impressively second currently on the first time check. But we'll see if he can keep that up in the second time check as well. 20.9 kilometers still to go for Primoz Roglic. And the next rider to start is Marc Soler of UAE Team Emirates, the best placed rider for UAE, and then we've got Sepp Kuss. Those two riders kind of fulfilling the same role in respective teams, but find themselves ahead of their leaders.
They're kind of like I don't know. It's like these two teams are playing a game of chess, and Soler and Kuss are sort of like not pawns, they're more like bishops or something who have already kind of been played. And they're kind of been used to kind of counteract each other in terms of being up there in a up kind of more higher up in the GC position. But whether they're just red herrings to the kind of big GC hopes that are in each of their respective camps, but Soler rolls off the line. He has done decent TTs in the past, but we'll wait and see. I think that this Soler that we got this Vuelta, who knows what to expect from him.
Yeah. Soles in Spain or whatever you said.
Yeah.
It could be quite interesting if he pulls off a good TT here. And I mean, you are a rider as well. Of course, you're a teammate, but like if you find yourself in a good position here, would you be willing to just throw it away? Like this is his career best position in the Vuelta. Ooh, Juan Ayuso 31 seconds down on Ganna. So
So was he like 8 seconds down on Vlasov? Something like that.
I think 7 seconds, 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Really good time by Vlasov then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good time from Vlasov. And Ayuso going faster than Almeida as well.
Yeah.
Not by much, but
Ayuso looks very fast.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the eye test saying here?
Eye test. I don't know because we haven't seen Almeida, so it's hard to judge.
I want to see Vlasov. We haven't seen a lot of Vlasov.
Don't have enough motorbikes, do we?
Yeah.
I just get petrified whenever I see Primoz Roglic. I just feel like he's going to crash at any imminent moment.
Him and Thomas definitely have something.
Yeah, it's just terrifying. But red jersey time.
GC Kuss.
GC Kuss. Who people, including me, have said that we think that he's going to hold on to this through today.
Oh, you voted for yes.
Did I?
No, in the poll. You think he's keeping the jersey?
I think he's keeping it.
All the way to Madrid?
No, not to Madrid. Well, until the next rest day, maybe.
Yeah, I think I said... I can't remember who I said was going to keep the red jersey.
Yeah. You're going to get put in a tough spot, I think. If Kuss starts to drop or starts to struggle, they're going to need to make a decision.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We've got the recap race analysis coming up later today as well about the stage. And if you haven't already, make sure to check that out on Spotify. We would appreciate if you guys could give us some 5-star reviews because I didn't really know how it worked, but I'll share that in the comments. But yeah, we're just seeing Remco Evenepoel going up the climb here. 19.9 kilometers still to go. And we had our rest day conversation yesterday over about what was going to happen in terms of the Giro, what's been happening. But Enric Mas there, 11th fastest through the first time check, so 55 seconds down on Ganna. So we'll see what happens there. But Remco Evenepoel looking very controlled here. 100% record this year in Grand Tour stage wins in time trials.
Really? Oh yeah, I guess that is true.
Yeah, because he's only done the Giro and the team time trial doesn't count.
That's very true. especially that TTT. That one especially doesn't count.
Yeah. That was just lethal when you think about it. The rain, yeah, okay, fair enough, but
Yeah.
the time, the darkness, that was, yeah, crazy. Oh, Vingegaard is not as electric as he was in the Tour. 22 seconds down on
On
Ghana.
Ganna. And he's been over the climb as well.
Yeah, that's not good. Not good. I don't think it's gonna be Vingegaard doing the Tour Vuelta double. Yeah, which one do you think's more impressive, the Tour Vuelta or the Giro Vuelta?
Tour of Vuelta. I think the kind of the lack of recovery time between the two is the kind of thing that which makes it more impressive to me.
But like we haven't
You
seen
know,
the Giro Vuelta one since Contador back in 2009.
that's true. But I feel like we see quite regularly riders coming from the Giro to the Vuelta. I mean, we see that a lot. We've seen that even this year. It seems like a pretty standard kind of calendar decision for riders to make. If you're going to do two Grand Tours, you do those two. Whereas I think that, yeah, the Tour one is the Tour Vuelta, like, you don't get as long recovery time. You can't get, the optimal preparation. So I feel like that's a little bit harder to do.
Yeah, we're just seeing here Roglic. You were saying that he makes you petrified every time you see him. 15.4
Yeah.
kilometers to go. The motorbike behind him going 56 kilometers an hour. Remco Evenepoel just looking so smooth on that bike. Yeah.
He's over the top of the climb now on the descent.
What's the eye test saying? Who do you think's winning?
I think Remco just marginally right now. I don't
But
know.
in terms of the GC or in terms of the stage as well?
In terms of the stage,
Um, 18
I mean, the
kilometers.
timing is saying they're pretty much neck and neck
Oof,
between Evenepoel and Ganna. Like, I think it literally just said same time between them. So
crazy.
I think it is neck and neck. I mean, in terms of GC, I think that Evenepoel's going faster. I don't know in terms. Ganna just looks so fast. Is the thing. It's so hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they can fight each other once again. I mean, it was at the Worlds.
Hmm. Yeah, it was pretty close. We got Roglic coming up to the time check here, and he tell you what, he's going faster than Jonas by 15 seconds.
Yeah, that was quite shocking.
Roglic is only 10 seconds down on Filippo Ganna, and Jonas was 25 seconds down. So yeah, Jonas went slower than Vlasov. So with at team time check one, it's Ganna, then Roglic, then Vlasov, then Jonas, and then Catania.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shock. Um,
Oh, that's quite a shock. I mean, yeah, I always consider, I don't know, whenever Roglic gets onto a flat TT, I always consider it's not quite as good. When it gets to those kind of very rolling sort of TTs, I think Roglic is an absolute weapon. When it's pure flat, I always feel like it's a little bit, not in his favor. I feel like that's certainly better for a Ganna or an Evenepoel.
yeah, I mean the pedigree that is around Vlasov right now in the TT discipline. The guy who won the time trial in the Tour and won the Tour is behind him. The guy who's the Olympic champion is in front of him, and the guy in front of him, obviously the two-time defending, oh well, two-time former world time trial champion. So not bad going by Vlasov right now, but we'll wait to see the other riders coming over time check as well. I think Landa is going to be caught by Evenepoel quite soon now, and
Hmm.
Vingegaard, no Roglic, no Vingegaard is going to catch Mass very soon. So there's going to be some catches in these GC guys group, despite the 2 minute gap between them.
Hmm. Yeah, and we're just seeing Vlasov coming up to the line now. He's only got a few hundred meters left to go. Waiting for the clock to come up. He is sitting in second place provisionally right now, but the clock is working against him. But he's about 40 seconds down right now. He's probably going to end up being about a minute behind Filippo Ganna. But that is an incredibly, respectable performance from Alexander Vlasov.
52
52
seconds.
seconds down.
That is
Bad.
impressive.
Ewan will be happy.
Anne saying as well in the comments, Giro Tour and Worlds is more impressive. Yeah, Stephen Roach, the Triple Crown, only being achieved by him and Eddie Merckx, respectively. But yeah, Roglic here, 12 kilometers to go here. What can he do after that very incredible time check there? Only 10 seconds down. Yeah, Vlasov was 37 seconds down on the second time check to Filippo. So yeah, but Remco Evenepoel, that is the man, the one we're all wondering about. We haven't seen Sepp Kuss at all, so that's a bit annoying because we want to see if he's going to keep the jersey.
Yeah. I mean, Remco's still to go through this time check, I believe. So we're waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. 8.9 kilometers still to go here for Jonas Vingegaard. Not his best one, but yeah, Alexi saying as well, Evenepoel will catch Landa. I think that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think they might be passing each other by the time check almost, but Landa at the time check, 18th fastest, 1 minute and 3 seconds down on Ganna. Roglic, yeah, okay, his miniman is Jonas Vingegaard, so I don't think he's going to catch him.
Yeah. I mean, catching a minute man is
Oh,
it is an
2 minute man.
advantage because
Yeah,
you get the slipstream off them
yeah, true.
as well, and that's definitely worth a few seconds.
Great to have 500 people in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Hit the like button as well. Let's try to get to 100. And of course, today I'm sitting with Patrick Blake, 1/3 of the Echelon Cycling Podcast and Auto Cycling. We're watching Ganna here in the hot seat. He's currently leading still 52 seconds ahead of Vlasov, of all people. Who thought we would be saying that? But
Yeah.
4.3 kilometers left here for Juan Ayuso. Is he going to be the best Spanish rider on the day here?
I mean, he's got to beat Castroviejo, hasn't he? Castroviejo is the current highest placed Spanish rider. I haven't seen the top 10 a little bit, so I think that Castroviejo is still in the top 10. We'll just cut to Remco Evenepoel. He's got 12.7 kilometers left to go, but he's only just a couple of 100 meters away, I think, from the time check. So I think we're going to get a bit of a gauge as to how he's doing in relation to Filippo Ganna.
Yeah, because Ganna's time through that was blistering here. So,
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to favor, if they're pretty even, does that mean the rest of the course is in Ganna's favor because the climb was there?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I'd say that if they're level, then that actually is probably advantage Ganna. I don't know. There's something about just eyeball test. There's something about the way that Evenepoel's riding. It doesn't quite look the hyper kind of aggressive Evenepoel that say we saw at like the Giro d'Italia. It looks a little bit, I don't know, controlled. I'm not sure whether it's because there's loads of corners, but I don't know. It doesn't quite look like he's on the ragged edge. Maybe he's really planning on doing a negative split here and just really getting it all out in the final. But I don't know. Is it just me, or does he look a little bit kind of controlled?
I don't know. It's really hard. Just, yeah, the eyeball test. You don't know what speed they're going at. You don't know what power they're going at. There's so many, yeah, unknowns. But we're seeing Sepp Kuss finally. We're getting pictures of the red jersey. The American doing very well. And great to hear Marco as well joining from Slovakia. First time seeing the channel. Great to have so many new people as well. And yeah, Almeida here coming up to the finish. And looks like he might be inside the top 3 here.
Yeah, he might just. Is he going to beat Vlasov? He's going to be very close to the time of Vlasov.
Oh, yeah. Second fastest time now. Good ride by
Yeah.
Almeida.
Almeida's 50 seconds down on Filippo Ganna, and I think Vlasov was 52 seconds down, so they were, pretty much, neck and neck. Almeida and Vlasov, that is.
Yeah, we'll wait and see here. Great to have Keith joining us from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia as well. And let's see if I think Mark Soler might get caught by Sepp Kuss.
No way.
Yeah, it's looking like that. Lenny Martinez in the void between Soler and Evenepoel, but Landa is still holding off Evenepoel here, so yeah.
What?
Right now, Ganna, Almeida, Vlasov, Catania, Oliveira, Bissinger, Castrovejo.
It's got a lot of Italians in this top 10 so far.
Yeah.
You'd think it's a Giro stage.
Yeah, that's true. But let's see what is going on here. We got Roglic, 6.8 kilometers left of his time trial. And yeah, this could be quite interesting to see what's going to happen with the Slovenian superstar. Rubio nowhere on the first time check as well. Lenny Martinez, he was 27th. And in terms of, yeah, okay, Wout Poels finishing 50th on the final time. 21st for Autobrook, so losing quite a lot of time on his teammate. 1 minute and 40 seconds. 4 minutes and 8 kilometers still to go for Jonas Vingegaard, the two-time defending Tour de France champion. And yeah, what can he salvage here within the last 5 kilometers of his time trial? That is the big question. I mean, we will see.
The user's coming up to the line now, but he's already 40 seconds down, so he's going to finish behind Almeida and Vlasov.
Oh, the second time check. Vingegaard was 54 seconds down, 8th fastest. So, yeah. Juan Ayuso, though, like you said, he's going to be behind Almeida.
Yeah, he's already a minute behind, so we'll see where he comes in. He's currently provisionally in 4th place, but the clock is still working against him. He's 25 meters from the line, crosses it. A minute and 11 down on Ganna, currently in 5th place. But still,
that's kind of a shock, I think, no?
That's like 20-ish seconds slower than Almeida.
Yeah, mini shock.
A second a kilometer, roughly.
Strange. But, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens in the last few riders here. And Vingegaard coming up towards the line. I think he has caught Mas, or he's very close to catching him. Judging by the graphics that you can see on screen as well, I hope. Yeah, Vingegaard, great TT rider, 3.3 kilometers. Is he seeing Mas, or has he passed Mas? But Juan Ayuso here, yeah, brilliant effort by him. Marc Soler, 36 seconds down on the first time check here in 11th, so
that's not bad.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Not bad from Soler.
What can he do here? Deeper into this Vuelta España as well.
Who knows? I feel like this is uncharted territory.
I mean, Tour de l'Avenir winner. It's not like he came without any pedigree. He was seen as like the next heir to Valverde, etc. So
that's very true. But then he kind of just went off the boil for a few years and wasn't really living up to the hype. And I was kind of close to just resigning him to the history books at that point as just a domestique and a breakaway rider. But this is, it's good to see that he's kind of, I don't know, living up to that hype. 8 years later.
Great to have Brian here in the chat as well. We will be doing more live commentary streams in the Vuelta España, so great to have you all here. We're going to do the recap race analysis over on the Cycling Day and Extra channel and on the podcast, which is on Spotify. So if you haven't already, please give us 5-star reviews or whatever the system is there. That would be greatly appreciated. But we are seeing Sepp Kuss here, GC Kuss. He is going to be outside the top 10 on the first time check. He's going to be 12th. 12th fastest, 40 seconds down on Ganna. And
that's not that bad of a time.
Wait, Remco was behind Roglic on the first time check. That
was he?
Yeah, that slipped me by. He was 11 seconds down on Ganna, so...
Really? Wow. The eye test was telling.
Yeah, you did say that.
This isn't bad from Enric Mas,
Yeah.
I know he's a minute and 46 down on Ganna, but 12th place provisionally so far is actually a very good performance from Mas, I think.
Yeah. I think you guys are leapfrogging us as well. On the second time check... No, we haven't seen Remco go across that time check yet, but... Yeah, it looks like it's not going to be a day for Remco Evenepoel to win this, but nevertheless, we are seeing Sepp Kuss, GC Kuss, go Kuss. Is he going to be the first rider since Chris Horner for America to win a Grand Tour? That is the big question. I mean, a great rider, seems like a great guy as well off the bike, but yeah, that doesn't really matter in cycling. Marc Soler pushing as hard as he can here. But it looks like we are going to get the defending Tour de France champion here coming up to the line. Jonas Vingegaard, their prized asset. Is he riding for himself or is he riding for his teammate and hero, to be honest, Primož Roglic as well?
Who knows? Waiting for the clock to come up.
It's because he went too fast. It's just too fast. Oh,
Don't know. Don't
not
know
a
about
good
that,
time.
Scott.
Yeah, that's not a good time.
Already a
Um,
minute and 10 down.
I'm glad he wasn't doing this at the Tour de France.
He's slower than a user.
Yeah, he's just about making inside the top 10, so that's quite a shock.
Minute and 18 down on Filippo Ganna.
That's a
Mm,
talking point for the recap race analysis
interesting.
later on.
Cracked. Cracked.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we're only 12 likes away from 100 guys, and we're like nearly 600 people in the chat. I'm sure there's 12 of you. 4.3 kilometers to go here. Sepp Kuss, Cervelo. I love Cervelos. They're a brilliant bike, brilliant TT bike as well. But yeah, what can they do here? 17 minutes into his ride. No more riders left here. And the next rider to come up to the finish line is Primoz
Ooh,
Roglic. It's just
he's
Riombo
good.
all over the place.
He's, I mean, he's just come into this camera shot, and usually riders arrive at that point already, 20 seconds down or something, and Roglic came through there on level, so I reckon he's going to be.
Well, not level.
I mean, yeah, he's going to be. I think he could be. Is he going to be the fastest of the GC riders? I reckon he could be.
Oh, look how half an hour changed everything. Um, yeah, oh,
Could
you
be.
guys, you did it. You got over the 100 mark. Well done, guys.
Well done, everyone.
Now
Good job, team.
let's all go to Spotify and give the Second Dane podcast a 5-star review.
Man's got to eat.
Exactly. Yeah, well, we'd appreciate it anyway. But
Yeah. I mean,
Roglic has just,
what?
yeah, good
Wow.
time there.
He was 36 seconds down on Ganna, but that's 14 seconds put into Almeida, who was kind of the best GC rider so far. And that's also putting, gosh, like over 30 seconds into Jonas. So I think that is going to help Jumbo decide a little bit of hierarchy, probably.
I don't you think they were riding for Roglic anyway?
I
Apart from
feel
that,
like they were, but they love to play the Trojan horse game.
yeah, this time with Sepp Kuss.
Yeah, literally.
Um,
The Olympic champion. 27 seconds down. That's a very good time.
yeah, he's not Olympic champion for nothing. But yeah, good riding by Primoz Roglic. I mean, many of us think he might be on the red jersey, but later on this week. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Ganna looking all nervous here. The guy who conquered him in Glasgow, well, not even Glasgow, Stirling, is 2.5 kilometers away from the finish. The world time trial champion. We know there is the rainbow curse. Does that apply to the rainbow jersey in the time trial discipline?
I don't know. He is faster
Uh,
than Roglic, though.
yeah.
He's not
Yeah.
faster than Ganna, though. I don't know. I just kind of think back to Evenepoel's position. He always seems to have his head like buried behind his hands, and although we've got a back shot here, he doesn't seem to be doing that
Yeah.
as much.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
from
Did you
just like
see Mark
comparing,
Soler? He's got like a crossed over hand position.
yeah,
That must be so
Solaire's.
uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, can't be comfortable, but fast as heck, probably.
I mean, we didn't see Ghana doing it, so it can't be that fast.
That's true. Well, maybe Ganna hasn't discovered this extra power yet.
Do you want 5 extra watts
Yeah, that's it.
to add on to your 800 watts FTP?
Yeah, well, yeah. Every little helps.
Yeah. But yeah, Remco is catching Landa here. He has just passed Landa, so the catch that we thought was going to happen at some point has just happened.
Mm.
I mean, it's not unexpected, that catch.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if Remco was flying though, I reckon he might have caught him sooner. We're only just getting into the last K here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, it really does look like it's in the hands of Ghana right now. So,
Oh yeah,
the fact that they didn't even do the graphic against Ghana, they did it against Roglic is also quite telling.
yeah. I mean, 4 seconds, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And there you go. Evenepoel is officially slower than Ganna,
Yeah.
but how much time can he put into everyone else is the main question.
It is a great kit, though. He does just suit rainbow jersey bands.
What's that? Is that 10 seconds on Roglic, I think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's not gonna be challenging. Well, the Ghana time is out of his
Mm,
possibility. Now he can't win it. So Ghana has won the stage.
yeah,
Uh,
Ganna's won.
yeah.
It just
DB
depends
Cooper,
how the.
DB Cooper already saying angry Remco interview incoming. Uh, 16 seconds down.
Mm,
That's interesting. But yeah, don't go away. We still have the other riders to come. We still have Lenny Martinez,
yeah,
who we haven't seen a single second of. But it looks like the stage has been decided,
yeah.
and yeah, I think we might still have GC Koos as GC Koos.
Mm. Yeah, we need to wait for the GC kind of dust to settle because there's going to be quite a lot to unpick here. But Soler is currently going faster than Kuss apparently by 6 seconds. That's not going to be enough for Soler to take GC though. But
Yeah, I mean they are interviewing Remco Evenepoel already. He's gonna be quite pissed at that. Maybe he's looking quite angry. Or
that's just him. That's just his
I
face.
mean, he seems calm. No, it's also like Cavendish said this kind of thing where it's like, yeah, you're taking it after like, yeah, right after disappointment or whatever. Like, just give them like 10 minutes. Let them just settle down and then interview them. But obviously, everyone wants the raw emotions. But 5.7
Mm.
kilometers still to go for Sepp Kuss. He's about 7 seconds down on Marc Soler. So, yeah, what was the advantage? We can bring it up here as well.
I think it's like 2 minutes and 20 on Evenepoel,
Yeah, but
something like that.
43 seconds on, yeah, we'll bring it up here on the screen. 43 seconds on Marc Soler, so it looks like,
Uh,
unless Lenny Martinez is doing an absolutely blinding ride, he's 1 minute and 2 seconds down. He is going to be keeping that jersey for another day.
mm.
Yeah.
Or maybe a few days or a week or who knows.
Yeah, like, or just the entire Grand Tour.
Yeah,
Just
maybe.
win the whole thing. That would be quite a flex, winning with 3 different riders as well.
Mm. Oh gosh, yeah, that would be a big flex.
But yeah, nevertheless, we are just seeing the conclusion of this time trial as well. Coming towards the finish, we've got 4 more riders to come. Or 3 more riders, I think. In terms of Martinez, Soler, and Kuss. So 7.5 kilometers for Marc Soler to come to the finish. And I mean, yeah, if he keeps this jersey, Sepp Kuss has done great.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said earlier, this is like the first time we've probably seen you know Sepp Kuss have to go proper full gas for a TT to defend the GC lead. So it's a good little barometer for us to take into the future as to how fast of a TT rider he really is. Because I never really feel like he goes full gas in a TT. He's always saving energy for future mountain stages whereas now he's having to put in the full effort to keep it on his back.
Yeah, it's the battle of the super domestiques right now. It's quite a strange dynamic right now.
Mm.
3.7 kilometers for Sepp Kuss. And yeah, good riding by him. And he is the conclusion. I don't get, wait, 3 point, it said 7.5 for Soler. I think they got that wrong then before. But Soler, yeah, it says 8.6 kilometers for Soler. That can't be right.
That can't be right.
No, I don't think that's right. But Lenny Martinez wearing the white jersey. He's coming to the finishing line here. He's going to be inside maybe top 30, I think. Yeah, the French rider, hope of the future. I don't think he's going to be falling outside the top 4 or 5, I think. but still inside the top 10. 2 minutes and 22 seconds down. It's going to be more. Almost 2.5 minutes now down on Ganna. Yeah. 2 minutes and 29 seconds down. I mean, that is a huge chunk, but yeah. Kind of expected or no?
I think it is expected. I think maybe we were hoping that Lenny was going to be able to, hold, kind of not lose as much time, but I think it was, inevitable in a way. Maybe we were tricking ourselves to kind of dampen to maybe could give us more hope. But yeah, I feel like it was a little bit expected in a way that somebody who isn't a time trial specialist was going to lose that much time.
Yeah, Mark Soler coming over the line here. This is a great ride by him. 8th fastest, provisionally. 8th
Wow.
fastest. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
1.5 kilometers still for Sepp Kuss. I mean, if we're saying it, we saw 8.6 kilometers like a minute ago. So he just did 8.6 kilometers in like 2 minutes. It's better than Peter Siri.
I mean, that is warp speed. Like Mark Soler is on different gravy
unless the
right now.
graphics were incorrect. But if they weren't, that was incredible. But yeah, Mark Soler defending his position, we think, in GC. Remco Evenepoel, I think, is moving up into 3rd, and then Roglic is in 4th place. But inside the last kilometer here for Sepp Kuss, and it looks like it is quite a good ride here from him. 1 minute and 7 seconds down on Filippo Ganna in the second time check, and he's inside the last 800 meters now. So, interesting.
I know this is a very good time, I think, for Sepp Kuss. He is currently, he's losing time, but I reckon he, probably like a minute and 30 maybe or something like that behind at the end of the day. He might end up with a pretty similar time to Jonas Vingegaard, dare I say.
Yeah, I think you're right. What was Jonas Vingegaard's last time? He was 1 minute and 17 seconds down. Okay, that time's gone now, so he's not as fast as Vingegaard. But yeah, I don't think many people were expecting this level, to be honest.
I mean, if you would have said at the start of today, okay, Sepp Kuss is going to be he's going to do a TT that's within 15 seconds or whatever of that's only 12 seconds slower or whatever than Jonas, I would have been like, nah, you're lying.
Yeah.
But that's what's happened.
I think that was quite a good ride by him. A very good ride.
Or is it a good ride from Sepp, or is it a bad ride from Jonas? Or is it both?
I think it's both, isn't it? If we're honest.
Yeah, I don't think this was Jonas on good form. Maybe this is quite telling, How's Jonas going to be in the rest of this Vuelta? If he hasn't done a good TT today, is that quite telling that maybe his legs just aren't there?
Watch is asking, who do you guys think will win the Vuelta España? I mean, that is a good plug for the Cycling Dane podcast, where we talked about this on the rest day, and I believe you were going for... Well...
I said Roglic, but I said that Yuzo was going to win up Tourmalet.
Yeah.
I think is what I said.
But yeah, we'll do the top 10. We'll do the GC top 10 as well. But Ganna gets his first ever Vuelta España result. I think that's a huge result for him. We'll go through the top 10 and the GC before we disappear and do the recap race analysis over on the Cycling Day and Extra channel. Our sister channel. But yeah, I mean, Patrick, it's quite a good time trial here for many of these riders.
Yeah. Do you want me to read out top 10?
Yeah, sure. I was just going to try and find it, but Pro Cycling Stats have decided to die again. So, yeah, read out.
We got, Filippo Ganna wins ahead of Remco Evenepoel, who is 16 seconds down on him. Primož Roglic is in 3rd place. He's 36 seconds down, but more importantly, he's 20 seconds slower than Evenepoel. Then we have Almeida in 4th. Vlasov in 5th, then Catania, Ayuso, Mark Soler, Nelson Oliveira, and Jonas Vingegaard rounds out the top 10. Jonas, importantly, hemorrhaging 1 minute and 2 seconds to Evenepoel and 42 seconds to his teammate Primož Roglic.
I mean, who's the big surprise there, you would say? Ganna winning it isn't really a surprise, let's be honest.
I'd say Vlasov is quite surprising. Vlasov was 5th place. I think that's a really good ride. I think Soler is a good ride as well. I think that everyone else is relatively, where I would expect them to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do think that maybe Jonas is surprising in the sense that I thought he was going to do better.
yeah. I mean, the course was a bit
Um,
different than the Tour de France as well, obviously, but
yeah,
yeah, I see what you mean. I think you're right. Yeah, but
mm,
GC Kus still alive.
yeah. He's still leading the race. 26 seconds ahead of Mark Soler and a minute and 9 seconds ahead of Evenepoel. A minute and 36 ahead of his teammate Primoz Roglic. And then we have Martinez in fifth place, Joao Almeida in sixth, Vingegaard in seventh, Ayuso in eighth, Enric Mas in ninth, and Alexander Vlasov rounding out the top 10.
I mean, I don't think Remco can be too unhappy about this, to be honest. Okay, he's not on the stage, but like he's taking time on on his rivals.
Yeah, and he's got a what's that 27-second buffer on Roglic. So if he does have another bad day and he loses about 30 seconds, then he'll still be in contention. And he's probably happier that they've kind of got Vingegaard a little bit further out of the game, and it makes it a little bit easier, therefore, to kind of tackle Jumbo Visma in the mountains. And yeah, only a minute and nine behind Sepp Kuss. I reckon that that means that Jumbo Visma still have to sort of take control of breakaways and stuff. But yeah, Evenepoel may be quite happy with where he's ended up at the end of today.
Yeah, I think you're right. Do you think we're gonna see Kus losing it tomorrow? The Jersey, we've got a big mountain stage coming up, so
I think I think Jumbo will try let the break go tomorrow, personally, because I think his stage after that the Tourmalet. So I reckon they'll try let the break go tomorrow, and then I think that then it'll be a big battle up Tourmalet. I'm not sure how they'll do it. I reckon they'll try keep Kuss as long as they can up there, and then Roglic just marks Evenepoel and just kind of does what he does, and hopefully Sepp doesn't drop.
yeah,
But I don't know what Jonas's role is now.
it probably
Back to
was
Dusty.
this. It probably is just help Roglic. It probably was this. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, it would be nice giving back after what he did at the Tour de France last year. Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, I think that is it for us. We're going to be back for the Tourmalet stage, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll do the recap race analysis over on the Cycling Dane extra channel or on the Cycling Dane podcast. Please give us some 5-star reviews because we
Mm.
really need that because I think we're very prominent on YouTube, not really on podcasting. But yeah, with that, thank you very much, every single one of you who've tuned in, commented, hit the like button, gotten involved in the polls, and as always, we will see you very soon. Well, we'll see you in 2 days' time, probably. So, or in about an hour's time if you're watching us on the recap race